and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Saturday. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. I'm here to entertain you with more delusional people. Surprise! I know that's what I always do. So welcome. We have some good stuff today. We have some typical SovCit traffic stop and court appearances, but we also have a video that's from a while back, but we haven't watched it yet, in which Cameron Wilson from Power Inherent in the People debates with Delete Lawz, because they have different beliefs. It's pretty interesting. So we'll get into that, but we can start out with the normal traffic stop. Before we get started, though, if you are on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream. I'd appreciate it. It helps a lot. If you're on Twitch, you don't have to like the stream, at least not physically. I hope you do in your brain, though. If you want to support the stream, you can always subscribe on Twitch or gift subscriptions. Bits, I'll also read any bits messages, and super chats on YouTube. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump into it. By the way, update on the video. I have been writing so far all day. That's what I've been doing, so that's been going well. I am making progress on the medbed video. The writing, I've gotten over the hump of being intimidated by having to write, and now I am actually just writing. So it actually feels pretty good. Pretty excited about you guys to see that once it's all done and I film it and edit it. So, should be good. Alright, let's get into it, shall we?
I said, hello, how are you tonight?
Good. Stop me, you can have place in the car.
Okay. Yeah, I do not wish to waive any of my fundamental rights, and I wish to exercise all of my rights.
I don't give a shit about any of that, so let me see.
Okay, so immediately this cop's not thrilled about interacting with a sovereign citizen. That's great. That's great.
Driver's license,
okay.
Proof of insurance.
My name is Devin Ball, 4/5/1986, and I choose to exercise my right.
You got your driver's license on you?
Sir?
You have your driver's license on you?
Again, my name is Devin Ball, 4/5/1986, but I choose to exercise my right to travel in the private. B-A-L-L.
Oh, Ball.
Yes, but I want to make sure that you know that I choose to exercise my right to travel in the private.
What's your first name?
You do understand that you are...
What's your first name?
Devin, D-E-V-O-N. That you serve the people, correct?
Okay, and your middle name?
Okay.
Middle name?
I'm very confused why after a million times of this, they don't understand. Serving the people does not mean that any individual person gets to break any laws that they want. That's not how this works. Power with the people means, like, the governing body made up of representatives chosen by the people, like, make legislative decisions, right? We exercise power as the people through our representatives in government, at least ideally. It does not mean you, the individual, can tell the cops what to do. That's never been how this works in any civilization.
It is Thomas.
Thomas, what's your date of birth?
4/5/86. And as I'm showing you honor, I ask that you show me honor as well.
Do you have any proof that you own this vehicle?
You can look at the VIN number, yes.
Keep up the smugness. I'm smug because I'm pointing out that these people are wrong? Is it a sovereign citizen? I can't tell. How you doing, Smoking Koala? Hope you're doing well with all that salt.
May I also...
Insurance?
May I request, do you have a RAS?
You have insurance?
Do I have to answer any more questions?
Yes, you have insurance.
Is it not my constitutional right to remain silent?
You still need to identify yourself at a traffic stop. You need to give your license. You're required to have a license to drive on public roads.
Do I not have that right?
Okay, what's the license plates on the floorboard underneath your feet?
Do I have to answer any more of your questions?
What are the license plates down there?
I choose to exercise my right to remain silent.
Go ahead and step out for me.
Sir, what crime is being committed?
Go ahead and step out.
May I ask what safety? Why do you not feel...
Go ahead and step out now.
May I ask why?
I don't have to tell you. Get out.
You do have to provide me with proof that a crime has been committed.
You're driving a car with no license plate.
Oh, there's your reasonable articulable
to-
suspicion. You were operating a vehicle on public roadways with no license plate. There's your RAS. Woohoo! We did it.
Show me that a crime has been committed or that a crime is being committed. And I do want to present you with the knowledge of fact and the knowledge of law.
Okay.
That is,
Go and put your hands up there.
that is the law. And I was trying to provide you with that as well. And I also, you know, I understand that the Fourth Amendment is there shall be no unlawful search or seizure. So I am asking
There shall be no unreasonable search and seizure.
you what
So
crime
I
has
stopped
been
you
committed.
because you don't have any license plates on the car, okay? And then when I told you to get out, you didn't get out. You're out now, okay? So right now you're being detained. Do you understand me?
It doesn't make sense to me, no, sir.
Okay.
Where'd the koala guy go?
I did provide
I
you
missed them.
with my name and
Yeah.
my birth date, so I already know that you do what you feel is lawful.
I see them.
No,
They're watching. They're in chat. I can see everyone in chat.
I do ask, you know, do you feel, you know, why do you feel threatened?
I didn't. Well, when I tell you to get out of the car, that means get out of the car, okay?
Okay, but you have to know, you have to provide me with what crime has
told
been
you.
committed.
You're driving a car without license plates.
A traffic stop is not a crime.
So driving without license plates is.
Well, I don't want to strike with you. I don't, sir.
Huh?
I don't want to strike with you.
Okay.
I don't want to argue back and forth.
Okay. Look at simple to do. One detained, everybody can slow down, I'll take one.
I love the camera
I
angle.
just want to exercise all of my rights.
Okay.
Sad face. Completely unusable for the rest of the video. Oh, they aren't in chat anymore? Sad face. Alright, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so, why'd you engage your emergency lights on?
Because you have no license plate and she noticed it.
Okay, that gives you probable cause to pull me over?
100%.
Okay. And I gotta ask these questions,
100%.
brother. I gotta ask these questions because I'm already dealing with
You
your
have no
department.
license plate at
That's
all.
fine, brother. It doesn't give you probable cause because I'm in my private capacity.
It does. I
Okay.
don't care about your masters.
That's fine.
You have no license plates on the vehicle.
Okay,
This is
no
a
problem.
violation.
Here you
Do you
go.
have a driver's license?
I answer questions.
Do you have a driver's license? You need a driver's license.
That's my
You're
identification.
operating a vehicle in the public road.
Sir, that's a passport. That certainly identifies you, but it's not a driver's license.
You need a driver's license.
That's my identification, sir.
You have
He didn't ask for an ID. He asked for a driver's license, which is a kind of ID, but he didn't ask for any ID.
a driver's license.
Sir, that's my
Okay, we're running your
identification.
information. Do you have a driver's license?
You wanna run the tag?
Perfect. You know,
He's got it right there. He has his license plate in the fucking car. Why do they do this? It almost pisses me off more when the sovereign citizen does have their car and the license or the registration like in the car, like the license plate. Like, what are you doing? You get this fucking milquetoast shit out of here. If you're gonna do the sovereign citizen thing, do the sovereign citizen thing. This almost tells me even you know this is bullshit. Otherwise, why do you have this with you? So full of shit.
been displaying the tint tag.
I don't have to. I don't have to. When I'm in my private capacity, I don't have to, brother.
Yeah, you do.
Brother.
You have to display that.
Are you trying to have a conversation normally so I can explain the law?
You can explain the. You're gonna tell me how to do my job.
Brother, they just dismissed my case in
Brother!
your court. I'm still
You're
dealing.
not displaying license plates.
Yes. You want see the ticket?
I am for the millionth time asking sovereign citizens to understand the difference between you winning a case and it being dismissed. I am telling you, please learn the difference.
Let me see it.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, man. I do this almost every week.
I commit crimes all the time, officer. It's not usually an issue.
I won't look for this. I'm not looking for it, but here. Okay. Let's check this out. Okay. 502.003. Check that out. If you know, they teach you guys one aspect of the law. Okay, you guys can give me a ticket. I don't care. You know, I can go get it dropped anyways.
Okay.
That's why I ride around to educate people.
You ride around to educate people by not displaying license plates?
I don't have to.
Yes, you do, sir.
What's that code? 502.003. It's on your own transportation code.
So you said you were going to show me a ticket. You're not showing me a ticket. You're showing me...
I'm not digging through all this stuff, man.
Okay.
But
Right.
but
So is there a
everything.
reason why you're not displaying that license plate?
I can put it on for you guys, but you guys can give me a ticket. I don't really care, man.
Okay, come and step out the vehicle, sir.
For what?
Okay, they're gonna probably take your car. They don't just... You can't operate this vehicle. It's not legal for you to operate. They're not just going to give you a ticket time and time again. The first time they gave you a ticket, it was basically a warning. It was a ticket, but also they didn't tow your car, which they could have. They're not going to ticket you every time and let you go on your way. You are operating a vehicle illegally.
Step out the vehicle.
For what?
Step out the vehicle.
For what?
Step out the vehicle.
Step out the vehicle. That's the last time we're asking. Step out the vehicle.
What did I do?
Come on, step out the vehicle.
You're not listening. They're gonna arrest you. Or at least they're gonna tow your car.
What did I do? I gave you my ID.
Come on.
For what?
You're under arrest for not displaying the license plate. Come on.
How am I under
You're under
arrest?
I already told you you're under arrest. Come on. Open up the door.
I'm not under arrest for what?
Open up the door.
I have the code. 502.003.
Door. Now you're being under arrest for traffic violations. Come on, step out.
How?
Step out. Step out of the vehicle.
How am I being under
Okay, I'm
arrest?
gonna ask you 2 more times. Okay? If you don't step out the vehicle, I'm breaking your window.
I'm not stepping out the car.
Well, let's do the math on that. What do you think's gonna happen now?
I want.
Via the transitive property, your window's gone, buddy, or whatever you were calling that guy, brother.
Your supervisor. Can you please get your supervisor?
Item 958. Subject's not stepping out of the vehicle. We advise you is under arrest for traffic violations. Doesn't want to come out.
That's clear. Just information. We have a threat against
Can I get a supervisor?
No.
for that subject.
That's clear. I'm aware of him. All right. You got one more time.
Yes.
Step out of the vehicle. I'm breaking your window.
Oh, it's about to cut off. Oh, there we go. Okay, we get to see it at least. Okay. There you go. Oh, that was the way that window smashed was incredibly satisfying. The pattern in the glass. I've become an aficionado of this sort of outsider window smash art, and that's beautiful. Look at that. It's just like fractals, man.
I have it on my eyes.
Okay, I'm not happy it's in his eyes, but that was a little funny. I think this is the same guy. I have multiple videos from this guy today.
That's a crime?
Yes, sir. Traffic.
What's
Hello, sir. Officer Jorgensen, Sugarland Police Department. Pulled you over for running that stop sign over
what's the
there.
emergency?
Pulled you over for running that stop sign.
That's why you activate your lights?
Yes, sir. You have your driver's license and proof of financial
What's the
responsibility?
probable cause?
Running that stop sign.
It's so funny when they try the script when they already gave you the RAS.
That
Like, were you listening?
gives you probable cause?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I don't think it gives you
It's a
probable
traffic
cause.
violation, sir.
You breaking traffic law isn't probable cause? Or what do you even think probable cause is?
That's a crime?
Yes, sir. Traffic
It's a crime?
violation.
Who's your supervisor on the scene?
I can call one for you.
So that's a crime, what you're telling
It's a
me?
traffic violation, sir.
So that gives you probable
Texas.
cause?
Yeah.
Texas traffic violation,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, I'm in my private capacity, but here you go, man.
You have your insurance or proof of financial
I don't answer
responsibility?
questions. Read the code on the back of my window. You all know this too right now, man. I don't know why you're pulling me over. I'm dealing with your department already, dealing with Missouri City. This is illegal stop what you're doing right now. I don't need to provide you any insurance unless I've been in a collision. 601-292.
That's incorrect. You have to give your insurance on any traffic stop in
Sir.
the United States.
Am I in a collision?
Upon request.
Are you doing an investigation to a collision?
You're detained. For a traffic violation.
Can you read me my rights? I'm under
Except
arrest.
maybe New Hampshire. Is New Hampshire the state where you don't need insurance? There's like one state where it's fucking crazy and you don't need insurance. And it feels like it would be New Hampshire. Maybe I'm wrong. Most states. We'll say virtually all states.
Right,
Put a little asterisk potentially for New Hampshire. New Hampshire's one of them? Of course it is. Those goddamn crazy people.
Not under arrest, you're detained. There's a difference.
I'm not free to go, am I? I'm not free to go, am I?
There's a difference between detainment and arrest.
Okay, but I'm not free to go, am I?
Correct, because you're detained. You're not.
No,
under
it's a
arrest.
custodial arrest. That's
You're
what.
detained. You're not under.
It's a
arrest.
custodial arrest. I'm not free to go, am I?
Correct, because you're detained. You're not.
No,
under
it's called
arrest.
a custodial arrest.
You're detained.
Okay, man. Either way, it's a detention. You can't go, but you're not under arrest in the colloquial. It's a traffic stop. You just can't leave.
You know what? Go ahead, do what you want, man.
Financial responsibility or insurance?
I don't answer questions.
You don't want to provide that?
I don't answer questions.
Correct. So you don't want to provide that upon request of a police officer.
I don't answer questions. You got my ID? Go ahead, do what you want.
What if he wants to smash your window? Again. This might be before, I'm not positive. Click, clack, click, clack. Not sure if the cop comes back. This guy posts videos really weird. There we go. Where he just like leaves in tons of dead air. It's crazy. Like, he doesn't even talk to the camera. A lot of sovereign citizens, when the cop goes away, they'll talk to the camera because they know they're going to be uploading it. This guy doesn't. He just leaves, like, mostly dead air in the videos. It's weird.
How you doing, man?
Hey, can you lower it down a little bit more?
No, it's far enough.
Okay. You wanted a supervisor?
Yeah, why did he activate his lights for non-emergency use? He has no probable cause for this stop. He thinks this is
He explained the probable cause.
probable cause. And he's refusing to give me my passport back. He's trying to make a negotiation right now. I want my
It's not a negotiation, I promise you that.
property back.
We're not negotiating.
Give my passport back.
We're not giving it back.
Okay, we're sitting here.
You have two options, okay, right now. Which I'm sure you already know, all right? He stopped you for you committing a traffic violation.
He can stop me for whatever he wants. It's illegal. If you tell me to sign the ticket, if you're going to take me to jail, I'll sign it under duress. But I want my passport back.
Here's your citation. Please sign the bottom.
Am I going to go to jail if I don't sign?
You will go to jail if you don't sign it.
Okay, thank you. You have something to write? Right?
There you go, sir.
Thank you. I can get my passport back?
Once you sign that, yes, you'll get it back.
Is that law or
I
something?
got my business card as well, sir.
You have your business card?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Can I get it now?
Once you sign everything, you'll get everything. We'll provide you all the information.
Excuse me.
Where's your supervisor at?
Yeah, I'm the supervisor right now. If you want another supervisor, you can go to the P
No.
and request one there.
You can get the Fort Bend sheriff out here?
We're not.
No?
No.
Okay.
Make sure it's your signature, not just under duress.
Clarasoma, thanks for 50 months at tier 2. It says, oh my god, 50 months, where does the time go? Into the past, where it's eaten by the Langoliers. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
The other duress part on there, but we need your signature. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I explained it to you already.
I don't care for it. Just get my passport back so I can be on my way. I don't care. It's an illegal stop. I don't care. It's an illegal stop. I don't care. You guys just committed a crime. You guys understand that? Can I get y'all a business card? Can I get both of y'all a business card?
Any questions right now?
Yeah, why y'all harassing me?
We're not harassing
Yeah.
you. We're conducting a traffic stop.
It's a crime what you're doing. You need probable cause.
They do.
You don't have probable cause for the stop.
It frustrates me to no end how they'll just repeat the script even when it goes off script. What's your RAS? Oh, you blew a stop sign. And then they just ignore it. They just act like it's not real. It's so frustrating. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Can take that up in court.
Okay, let me get his business card too and my passport back. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
No. Are we done? Am I free to go?
Now you're free to go.
Okay, thank you. No problem. Go ahead.
Oh, he just got out of the car. That's not good.
Go ahead.
You can leave.
Go ahead. I need to get your plates. Can I get your plates real quick?
No, you need to get in your car and you need to leave.
Can I get your plates?
You need to get in the car and leave.
Man, look how short this motherfucker is. Dumbass, look at this. Sugarland Police Department. Hey, next time he engages with me, he needs to turn on his body cam right away.
Jesus Christ. That was 9 days ago, too. That was his most recent one. Holy crap. This guy's something.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, morning, sir. Sergeant Vance with the Missouri City Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Driver, Texas driver's license with you, or
What's the emergency?
emergency?
Yeah, why'd you activate your lights?
Because you don't have a license plate on the back of your car. You haven't registered at all?
I take it off when I'm not making money for...
I can't hear you.
I take it off when I'm not making money. I'm in my private capacity right now.
What does it have to do with registration?
So what's your probable cause to initiate the stop?
Because you don't have a Texas driver's license.
So that-
registration.
I know you're asking your questions. I have to ask my questions. So that gives you...
But
I'll give you my ID.
we'll get to
Yeah. I'll give you my ID. Yeah. I'll give you my ID. Yeah. So that gives you probable cause to pull me over.
Yes.
Can you get the sheriff out here?
No, because this is a municipality.
No, okay. If you can call the sheriff, I'll appreciate it. But if you want to run the tags, here you go. You can
How
write.
about you call the sheriff? Call the sheriff and tell them the cop stopped you and you want a sheriff there. See what they say.
It down.
How come you don't have them on the car?
I take them off when I'm traveling privately.
What you're getting a citation for is not properly displaying.
You can give it
license
to me, but
plate.
I'm not signing anything. I'll take it.
No, you'll need to sign it. If you don't go to sign it, then I'm gonna have to take you before the judge, and you'll be arrested today.
This is the problem. Your code says you have to take me to see the magistrate. Let's go see the magistrate. But you guys don't.
But you're gonna be in my car. You're not.
But you
gonna
guys put me in jail first, then you guys take me to see a magistrate.
That's how that works, is because there's like a line. Other people got there before you to wait and be arraigned by the judge. So they basically put you in a holding cell to wait for your turn in line to see the judge. Like, you think you get to cut in line because you're the biggest asshole in the jail?
what the summons is for. This is all.
Can we wait for the sheriff?
I'm sorry?
Can we wait for the sheriff to come out here?
No, because the sheriff isn't gonna come out.
I just talked to them.
The sheriff is not gonna come out. The sheriff, Eric Fagan, is not gonna come out.
No, it's not Eric Fagan, but there's other sheriffs that
Deputy. You mean sheriff's deputies.
work in the
You mean
department.
deputies.
For the sheriff department, correct,
Okay.
or constables.
What are they gonna do?
Constables?
Their jurisdiction is, I mean, yes, it's countywide, but we're responsible for the municipality.
Okay, let me just make it easier on you and myself. If I don't sign, you're gonna use force to take me out of the car and take me to jail.
Well, I'm gonna ask you first to come out of the car.
No.
Because this is
I'll
a summons.
Yeah.
This is a summons for you to appear for court.
Yeah. I'll
And to
sign.
explain to why.
I'll sign under duress. If you threatening to physical harm me and forcing me out this car, I'll sign under
Why
duress.
do you think there's physical threat?
Because you just said if I don't sign, you're gonna take me out of this car. But how are you
I'm
gonna take
gonna
me?
ask you to step out of the car first, and if you don't, then we have to go an alternate route.
Alternate route is.
But we don't need to go there because all you need to do is sign.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
Sign the summons.
Yeah. I'm
to be
gonna
able to go to
sign.
court. Okay, perfect.
If you threaten and force.
I never understand why they think this is some sort of gotcha. Yes, the police are allowed to use violence against you in certain contexts. That's not great necessarily. I wish they would de-escalate more often. But yeah, man, that's kind of like the one context where society has told them they can do I don't know what to tell you.
Hey,
What's up, man?
What's up? Sir?
What's up?
Is this another one? Holy shit, this guy's prolific.
Take Howard Shaw, stop because you're speeding. You got a driver's license on you?
Yeah, but why'd you try to open my door?
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to open my door right now.
I can't hear you. You got a license on you?
Yeah. What's the emergency?
Step out.
Why? I'm asking you what's the
I can't
emergency?
talk to you.
Dude, why can't you talk to
I
me?
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's no mercy. I stopped because you're speeding.
Okay, I'm
I
asking.
identify myself. Take Howard Shaw.
Okay.
I stopped because you're speeding.
Okay.
Can I see your driver's license?
Yes, sir. I have a question. Why?
Can I see your driver's license?
Yes. What's your probable cause? I'm speeding. That's your probable cause?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
It's your driver's license?
Wow, this guy sucks as a driver, too. Like, even outside of the sovereign citizen stuff, he's blowing through stop signs, he's speeding. Like, he doesn't respect any road laws or road rules. This is actively super dangerous that he's out and about in his vehicle. Like, he's clearly... And these are within... When was this one? 3 months ago? So within the span of 3 months, he's been pulled over at least 4 times, 2 of which were for actual, like, speeding or stop sign, like, running. That's terrible. Imagine all the shit he's doing that he's not getting seen by a cop and pulled over.
Do you have a driver's
That's
license?
my identification,
Do you
sir.
have a driver's license?
Am I under arrest?
And there's his signature dead air. Oh, yeah, billboard. Nice billboard. Does the cop not even come back in this video? It just keeps going. What is this guy's deal? Alright, well, he's wacky. We might see him again in the future. Alright, let's jump to the titular video, shall we? This is the one I'm sure many of you clicked on this stream for. Delete Lawz versus Cameron, the gentleman from Power Inherent in the People. They apparently had a discussion earlier this year, and they had some disagreements, so let's check it out.
So I want to bring on Power Inherent to the People, but to be fair and give him a fair shot here to present his case, because I welcome Power. Thank you for coming. I think your name's Cameron, correct?
This is going to be really weird, because this is probably going to be one of the only times you ever see me agree with Chili. Because, like, Chili sucks. Chili's a bad guy that I think uses the aesthetic of a social cause to elevate himself and make himself seem important. I don't think he actively gives a shit about the underpinning morality and ethics of policing in America. I think he gets uncomfortable interacting with the police because he's a control freak that hates having to feel like he's not in control of any given situation. But he's not usually a sovereign citizen in the sense that he doesn't believe the driving, traveling thing. He doesn't think you don't need a license plate. I've never heard him espouse these things, at the very least. He's mostly a cop watcher who's really bad at his job, for the most part. Cameron, on the other hand, is a full-blown sob-sit whack job. So, it should be interesting.
Yes, sir. My name is Cameron.
Welcome to the program, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Cameron has emailed me a few times and asked to speak aloud with me. You know, look, I was going through a lot of brain fog and stuff for a long time. I finally got my head back on straight. So let's check out Cameron's video. He sent this to me.
I was in relation to just a lot of court hearings from the Supreme Court stating that we do have the right to drive on
Could you not put the annoying choir on top of the video? That'd be good.
public roads because that's in relation to...
You're traveling, yeah. You're not doing commerce.
Yeah, I'm not employed on the road. I'm not using the public roads that our ancestors paid for, man.
I get it.
These are our roads, my brother.
I get it.
You know?
And you use Black's Law Dictionary.
Yes,
I know.
sir, because their definitions are completely different. It's like we all ignorant.
Cameron is currently shaking his head like, yep, like he thinks the cop is agreeing with him. The cop understands sovereign citizens and what they believe. That doesn't mean he thinks what you believe is true, because it's not.
I just want to drive in private and just be myself without being. I'm not traveling with any goods or anything. Like that. I'm just using the public roads.
I get it.
And the courts have told me, man, I'm in the right. So that's why I just, I try to be.
Why is a choir playing? Because Cameron has grandiose delusions that border on the spiritual.
Quiet as possible because I understand, and I'm not here to cause no problems. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm just minding my own business.
I get it.
How many of our ancestors?
Okay, cool. So we have Cameron here, and since he's in the room, let's give him a shot. Okay, Cameron. So I think that you've been emailing me and telling me that people don't have to have a driver's license. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So, and you've been able to travel freely in the United States for 9 years, and you don't have a driver's license, insurance, or registration. Is that correct?
And he gets pulled over all the time and gets tickets. We've seen many videos of it.
Correct.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
AdventuresIn.net, thanks for a 5-stream streak, says he believes what the cop is saying is a revelation. Yeah.
Okay. So now what you said a second ago was that the Supreme Court has said that we don't have to have a driver's license, but this is the 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland. I must have pulled this case up 20 or 30, I'm sorry, 100 times, 200 times.
Yes, sir.
And what it says here is the government shall appoint a commission of motor vehicles with the power to designate assistants.
Let me stop.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just surreal listening to Delete Lawz pull up an actual citation to something.
If I can just stop you right there, go right back to the top.
Sure.
Of right where you was at, that paragraph right there. Stop.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
What is the definition of a motor vehicle, Chili?
It's any fucking car. It's a car, you dickbag. It's a fucking car.
4 wheels, a motor, and goes on the public roads.
That's not how they define it, though, in legalese, Papa.
Oh god, this feels like in Dragon Ball, where the villain from the previous season is like, the new villain is even worse than fucking Piccolo, so now you gotta team up with Piccolo to fight the new guy.
Well, all right, cool. So so just so you know, if I finish reading this, it says that every state shall have the right to form a DMV.
He's incorrect, by the way. Cameron is incorrect about the definition of motor vehicle. He does the thing a lot of sovereign citizens do, which is he'll find some specific federal code and look at a definition within that code and then decides that that definition is the definition of automobile or motor vehicle everywhere in the United States. And that's not how it works. Within codes, in federal codes and state codes, often they will have definitions within that code because they want to define what they mean within that code. It only applies as that definition for the code that it exists within. Not horizontally, not vertically, not across all federal jurisdiction, not down to the states, just within that code. But they ignore that or don't know that. Broha, thanks for 45 months of subscription. I appreciate it.
And then
on February 20th,
right here says here that the cop's going to define a motor vehicle as 4 wheels. Did you see this video last night? Did you watch it?
No,
Oh.
I'll be so busy, bro.
The reason I stopped you, he's not in his seatbelt, and your tag is obscured. The top of it, you can't see what it is, and it doesn't come back to anything.
My camera's blocking the top.
Yeah. Do you have your driver's license with you?
Right there,
Do you
she
have an
gave
actual
up her
driver's
rights.
license?
No, she didn't. She gave up her rights when she handed him the driver's license. The thing you're required to do by law. God, he's dumb.
No, she's a state national.
It don't matter. As soon as she gave up her name and information, she waived her right to privacy.
No, you don't have a right to not tell the cop your name and identification at a traffic stop. Those are the things you are required. I'm not here telling you to answer a bunch of superfluous questions to the cops. That's not a good idea. No lawyer's going to tell you to do that. What I am telling you is in the United States, you are required to give them your ID, your driver's license, which is required to operate the vehicle on public roadways.
Well, let's see what happens to someone who is a state national that.
I'm not no state national. I'm not no state national, by the way. I hope you know that. I don't promote that at all.
Okay, you can call yourself whatever you want, man.
Well, what I'm saying is watch what happens to her without her driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Okay.
My ID. I'm an American state national.
Okay, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a registration and valid proof of insurance?
She called herself an American international also, which is a little bit funny, because that's not a thing.
Does she talk too much, too?
I'm not engaging in the commercial use of the highways or byways, nor am I operating in a for hire capacity.
Isn't that what you say too? Is that you're not working in a capacity?
I don't do that no more.
What do you do?
So out of my 9 years, what I had to go through was experience. You know, you had to go through that. Not ever getting arrested. I never got arrested on right to travel, especially moving from Dallas, Texas up to Oregon. So when I started, though, I did go to court and I did lose on my first one. And then on my second one, I lost again, but the judge ended up writing a whole opinion. I asked him to write me an opinion, and he wrote me all an opinion on where I was wrong. And so I was like, okay. So then I got deeper and I perfected it, and I've never lost ever since. Everything I get now is motion to dismiss. And the reason being is because it all boils down to knowing who you are, Chili. It really does. Like, you are a creation of the creator, bro. There's nothing above you. We created the government.
You didn't create the government. People centuries ago created the government we exist within, and those people didn't even consider you a person. Now, they were wrong about that. They were fucking assholes. But the idea that you think that you have somehow inherited the ultimate right to not listen to cops when they're asking you for your ID is delusional. This is delusional that you are putting yourself up here where you're like, we're creations of the one, man. We're all just like derivations of the source energy, bro. Shut the fuck up and get a driver's license. You can wax spiritual about whatever nonsense you want to believe. It will not change the law as it exists and is interpreted currently.
We're top dogs.
We agree there.
Yeah.
We're both very full of ourselves. At least we can agree on that. We're both narcissistic personalities. That's good.
We're top dogs.
Maybe all three of us. We got the trifecta.
The part where I don't agree with you is that it depends on who I am. You know, I'm a big studier of history. The foundation of law comes from natural law, which if people don't know what law means, what the social contract means, the social contract that we live under here in America was written by a guy named Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Okay.
And you can read this book. It's a very small pamphlet called The Social Contract. You can read it in one day. It's that easy to read. And the social contract says that we all agree to live under a set of laws so that we don't kill each other. And this comes from the 1651 book called Leviathan, written by Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes, in his book Leviathan, writes about what's called the nature of man, or the natural man. And Hobbes says that men are the most brutish, rapiest, murderous beasts there are on earth, the most selfish.
Yeah.
You don't love your kids because you love your kids. You love your kids because you want to be a better dad than your dad was to you. You don't want people to say you're a bad dad. That's why you're good to your children. That's how far Hobbes took the nature of man. That
Overthought says, didn't you know you could show porn on... Oh, I didn't know you could show porn on Twitch, considering the level of mental masturbation on display here.
work is going to be expounded with two treatises of government written by John Locke almost 100 years later. So then after that, Jean-Jacques Rousseau is going to write the social.
I've noticed something about Chili, and like, hey, I'm glad he's reading it all. So like, this isn't like a criticism necessarily that he's reading these older things, but he tends to read a lot of like the foundational like Enlightenment thinker stuff like he's talking about. But I don't know if I've ever heard him describe him reading anything written about American jurisprudence like post like the 19th century. Like he really tends to read older stuff, and that's interesting and informative, certainly, but there is a lot you think he's kind of missing. Just a thought.
Contract in the early 1700s, the social contract is going to say that we all agree to live by a set of laws. That's how you get our government today. It's going to be the cherry on top is going to be a guy named Charles de Montesquieu, who's going to write a book, Spirit of Laws, where he's going to break down the different kinds of government, which would include an aristocratic government, a despotic government, a monarchical government, and a republican government, which is the one we live under here today. So these philosophers created the foundation of law.
Yeah, okay, but wait 1 second. You can only be a victim of what you succumb yourself to.
No, you can't. What are you talking about? A guy in a hockey mask walks in with a machete and he fucking hacks me to pieces. Is that because I subjected myself to that? What are you talking about? That's insane. We're victims of any atrocities throughout human history subjecting themselves to that? It's such a weird cope. Like, it's really fucking victim blamey, but also feels like it almost comes from a place of he doesn't want to live in a world where it's possible to be harmed or in a system that harms you without your consent. And I know that's scary, but that's also reality. You can just be born into a system or a society whose rules aren't great for you, for other people, for anyone. Like, you can do things about that. We all have some degree of agency, but just ignoring it and pretending it isn't real is crazy. And also, he's not even applying this to something that's actually egregious in, like, terms of harming people's rights or anything. It's literally a driver's license, so he's being a little bit melodramatic. Trey says, my personal theory is Chili doesn't like reading about modern legal situations because deep down he wants to live in one of those homestead communities that he not only would be able to excel in, but in which no one really has that much power over anyone else. I think he would like that, but mostly because he thinks he would be able to exert authority over other people within a smaller community, and he's probably correct. Like, in a smaller group of people, there'd be fewer people to kind of put checks on people like Chili, who tend to be very confident, let's say, and think they should always be in charge of things and think they know better than other people.
How many times has your car been towed?
Once.
Right. If you don't have a license and registration, your car is going to get towed 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 100. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen you pull it off. I've seen Paul and Slade pull it off. I've seen a few people pull it off. I've seen.
But it's not about pulling it off either.
Then what are you doing?
I think the bigger point that what we're doing is kind of like, we'll look at it like this. So Nevada last year, they already enacted their decriminalization of all their traffic laws. So all of 2024, they've had no, like, people can't go to jail. People can't, get found guilty. And then if they don't pay their fines, go to jail. They don't get their cars towed just for like the small little stuff on traffic law. It's all been decriminalized in Nevada. Okay. So what we got going on is we got a crack in the concrete. Okay. That crack is going to allow us to open it all the way up, to decriminalize traffic law across the United States. And that's what we're trying to do. But in that, I think what we've lost is we've lost the comprehension and knowing that if we are creators of the creators, and we have millions of people that died for us now, millions of people.
He loves to bring that up too. It's such a weird rhetorical point to be like, millions of people have died for my right to be a dickbag on the internet. Like, I can't argue with that, man. Like, I don't think they were specifically fighting and dying so you can try and break the law. That's a huge misunderstanding of those laws. Can you explain, Trey? Because I know you are from that area, and I was wondering if you had any insight on what he just said about Nevada decriminalizing traffic offenses. If you could let me know, I'd appreciate it.
People that died for our freedom. That every time that we don't stand up for our God-given rights, we actually disrespect not only ourselves, but those who died for us, right? If you
don't agree with me, you're actively shitting on the grave of all Civil War veterans.
Look at it on the deeper principle.
At least the North. Shitting on the graves of Southern Civil War veterans is probably okay.
Aspect of it. And how I see it is, sometimes, man, you have to stand up for what's right. And sometimes it requires a sacrifice. And if you're just going to succumb to fear and intimidation It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. The line is going to get pushed further and further and further in relation to just get a driver's license, then just do this, then just do that, then just do this. So it just gets pushed.
Okay, but you do need a driver's license. Like, what's the slippery slope here even? You didn't give a specific example of what you think this slippery slope is going towards.
Pushed further and further until you get to the point of where you just can't be free. And that's the whole point.
That's a complete abstract. Can you explain what you mean by not being able to be free here?
Freedom of movement. It's like R.F. Kennedy Jr. was saying,
Oh boy, he's citing RFK Jr. What an intellectual juggernaut.
He was talking to this very high up law enforcement official in the committee one day, and I put it on my channel.
Adventures in .net, thanks for finding me an article about that. Decriminalizing traffic tickets among new laws to take effect January 1st. Let's see what it says. Beginning January 1st, a new Nevada law will decriminalize several minor traffic offenses, including driving with broken taillight and carrying people in the bed of a truck, eliminating the possibility of jail time for such violations and for those unable to pay the traffic fines. Oh! Okay, I get it. They're ticketable offenses, but there's not jail time for them. It doesn't mean they're not against the law. It means that you won't go to jail for them. Okay, he misunderstood. That's funny. The law approved by legislature and Governor Steve Sisolak in 2021 will also cancel all outstanding warrants for minor traffic violations, changing those misdemeanor offenses into civil infractions. But for certain more serious offenses, such as driving under the influence or driving more than 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, these existing penalties, including the possibility of jail time, remain in effect. Okay, I gotcha. That doesn't mean it's legal. It just means you can't go to jail if you are sentenced for that crime. Okay. Where'd he go? There he is.
And he asked him, he said...
Sent a Discord DM on the DMV side of things. Let me take a look. Trey says, following the 2020, there's been a complete overhaul of how a lot of the DMV works in the state, and because of that, there's understandably a huge amount of bureaucratic slowdown for a lot of things in compensation for that. There have been exemptions that have been put in place that basically give you a lot more leeway if, let's say, you haven't had a chance to get your new updated license or get a new license plate, because so much of the system is being switched from analog, where you would need to show up at the DMV itself, being switched over to digital. I see. That makes sense.
If I'm walking down the street, can a cop just come up and, demand that I give ID? And the high up cop goes, well, no, he can ask for your consent. And then so RFK Jr. says, okay, well, good. That's what I thought. And he goes, well, now what if I'm on the roads and I'm driving and there's some kind of stop up there and they're stopping everybody and checking them for their mandatory insurance? He said, what about that? He said, well, what's the difference between me on the roads and me being in my car? Right? There is no difference. The only time that you can really be a true valid claim can be brought forth against you is if there's what's called a verified complaint, right? A man or a living woman that is bringing forth a claim against you.
No, cops can stop you if they see you doing something that they believe to be illegal.
Crime. That's what a crime is. You brought harm. Someone's bringing a claim, man.
They have a reasonable articulable suspicion. I think that's a Terry stop.
But everything else is just colorable law.
Well, I'm not sure when you stated, and I took a couple of notes here as you were talking. Cool. You stated that nobody goes to jail in Nevada for traffic laws. Now, unfortunately, my friend, I just got out of jail in Nevada, and there was lots of guys in jail for not having a driver's license. Tons. Matter of fact, my bunkmate, the guy next to me, was 20 years old, and he was arrested for not having a driver's license. And
was he doing the crackles and the pops? Remember when he was super upset about the crackle pops?
He was right next to me, and he was in jail for a week before he got out. His car was impounded. Even worse, what happened to him, his name's Juanito, he had his two dogs.
He said colorable law. He says colorable law instead of color of law. I don't know why. I assume he means the same thing. I don't know why he says it like that.
Car, French Bulldog and a Chihuahua purebreds. Mm-hmm. When they arrested him for not having a driver's license, they took his two dogs to the pound and they neutered them both.
Okay, so do you know what that...
Neutered? Or it sounded like he was going to say they put them down. I think you should have your pets neutered. I don't... Unless you were, like, very specifically having them as, like, dogs for breeding, but I find that to be fucked up. There's so many dogs out there that need to be adopted. I don't think you should breed dogs. I think it's good that your dogs got fucking neutered. Neuter your fucking pets. Spay and neuter your pets, or the ghost of Bob Barker will bite your nuts off.
They spayed them both. That means it's a tyrannical jackboot thug pig system.
Yes, but I'm talking about on the bigger principles, bro. That's a federal lawsuit, an easy federal lawsuit.
Your dogs have already been spayed.
Okay.
Okay, no, he meant that. He meant neutered. Yeah.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, did they pursue a lawsuit for their constitutional rights being violated? Because if they were not pulled over in relation to reasonable...
Notice that the goalposts have shifted now. He was like, no one goes to jail for this thing. And Chili's like, I actually met people in jail like a month ago who were in jail for that thing. And now he's completely ignored that he was proven wrong. And now he's going, well, they should sue. Hello? Are you going to acknowledge that you were just demonstrably shown to be a fucking liar, or at minimum ignorant?
On ticket suspicion with a probable cause. And if they did not invoke their rights right off the bat, which you do so well by telling people that you need to invoke your rights. Yes, I have a script now that I do. So I don't tell people just to talk like what you see.
Did you know that your rights are like Tinkerbell and they only exist if you believe in them? I believe in Tinkerbell.
There's a script. Every question is directed to immediately put the liability back on them without showing anything. It's the Eddie Craig script. These are godfathers in the right to travel. These are people who have brought forth civil suits. I just had Eddie Craig on 2 weeks ago. Big boy civil suits against Governor Greg Abbott and others. And like I'm dealing with a lot of big people, bro.
No, hold on. Let me stop you, Cameron. So, but the plain to me, when we get down to brass tacks, remember, I just spent 4 months in jail. You know that. So
yeah, but
when it comes down,
Papa, you didn't defend yourself. Like,
how truly fucked up are you when delete Lawz is the reasonable person in the call?
We defend
This is awful, and also a nightmare blunt rotation.
Because we study law. You see what I'm saying? Like I have a guy right now that's fighting his own felony case. For the right to travel. Like they literally put forgery charge against him when it's not a forgery charge. He made his own plates.
Yes, making your own license plate is forgery because you are forging plates. Only the states have the rights to create official license plates. So by doing your own, you are forging plates.
You know what happened?
Oh, they said I was forging currency just because I went out of my way to make my own dollar bills on my printer. Oh, what is that, illegal?
Now is when he gets done beating this, he's going to pursue his own civil rights lawsuit.
Okay, he can pursue that and fail at that as hard as he wants. That's fine.
And I know 242 is for them. I know it's 1983, which came from 1871 Ku Klux Klan Act, and that's why everybody now has eligibility to file a civil suit, is because the blacks had to suffer it first, right?
Yeah.
But if we get to the base of it, what I just want you to understand is qualified immunity is hanging by a thread. It literally is. Go read the judge's opinions out there. Judge Carlton.
It's really, really not. It'd be great if it was. Hey, I believe that cops should be held accountable more easily than they currently are. It's just that they don't need to be held accountable for you going to jail for not having a driver's license and continually refusing to get one. That's not something they need to be held accountable for. That's something you need to be held accountable for.
Qualified immunity is gone in 4 states. It's gone in
Colorado.
It's and what has changed in Colorado? What has changed in Connecticut? What has changed in New Mexico?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's if they're not okay. Well, if they're not changing, guess what? You want to know why? It's because the people don't got the knowledge to bring forth the civil suit.
No.
And there goes the goalpost shifting again. It's just this constant, like, rhetorical shifting. He's always winning. Everything is always going good for him. Everything's great.
They have a whole plan in place to keep the civil rights attorneys very low, so they don't pick it up, so they don't set precedent. Like you saw that cop right there just say, "You're right. Even though we put you in handcuffs when you wasn't driving, when we pulled over somebody else, even though we brought you all the way back down to the car and forced you to give up information under threat of duress, now we're going to say, even though we saw your traveler plates and that gives notice that you're not for hire,
No, that's reasonable articulable suspicion. The fact that they saw the fraudulent plates that were forged is reasonable articulable suspicion for a traffic stop.
going to say now, after you pull out these documents and prove that you're actually right by saying, yeah, you have the right to travel.
You don't understand why they want no traffic laws? Because they're narcissists that think that any requirement put on them by society is a grave impediment to their existence. They don't think they should answer to anyone under any circumstances, even reasonable ones.
You're not doing commerce. Wait, let me finish. Guess what? I have that on the record. I filed a federal suit. I'm going for precedent. So
how many federal suits have you filed that won and you set precedent with Cameron? How many? Is it 0? I'd bet money it's 0.
Even if we don't have it, Chili, I'm trying right now to do it for us. That's
so how big is that movement?
Well, we've got.
I mean, how big is it? How many people? So let's poll the audience. There's 300 people here. How many people decided that they're not going to have a driver's license? Put a 1 in the chat if you decide. Put a 2 in the chat if you have a driver. I mean, I'm just saying, there's no movement here.
You can have a driver's license and still invoke the right to travel. Do you know that?
I've got some, I want to give you a chance to speak and hear you out. You've been emailing, you want to talk. I want to give you that chance, but I just want to show you what happens to people. I want you to take a look at this.
I know they don't know the right.
Foreign law under Amendment 11 of both the Constitution and the Constitution of the United States, and I claim all my exemptions.
Okay, so do you have any other documentation from the United States government saying that you're exempt from these, or that you're
I don't have my paperwork in the car with me, but I do have it.
Okay.
And that's my form of ID, and those are my private plates on the car.
Okay, this is a passport. Okay, so I'm aware of your group that you're with. This doesn't grant you any rights to drive. I will. Do you have a driver's license in any state in the United States?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have any other documentation? Nothing from the United States government saying you have diplomatic immunity?
My paperwork is at my house.
Okay. Are you aware that in the United States, when you're a diplomat,
ain't got nothing to do with what we teach, though. We don't teach. See, she coming with them ideas that give them red flags. She's already.
Your ideas give them red flags. You can't differentiate what she's doing from what you're doing in any practical way. It's basically the same thing. The specifics might be slightly different, but at the end of the day, you're operating without a license. She's doing the same thing you are. The script is just slightly different.
Giving up her contract.
Carpkosian is asking for a gift sub also, if anyone is so inclined.
Her name. She got the window all the way down.
I'll pimp that.
Bro, she's sitting here like giving them eligibility. There's a way to go about it. I get what you're saying.
No, but I just wanted people to see what happens if you don't have a license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Are you claiming to be a diplomat? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm a foreign state national.
Overthought.
Right. So
that's what I am.
So you're a foreign state national.
Yes, and
but
if you run my
you're claiming
passport,
diplomatic immunity, correct?
If you run my passport, you'll be able to see my documents there. It reflects.
So do you have a driver's license in any state in the United States?
That is my form of ID, sir.
Do you have a driver's license? That's not my question. Do you have a driver's license?
No, okay. That is my form of ID.
Do you have a registration or a valid proof of insurance for the vehicle? It's a yes or no question.
No.
Okay. Any particular reason he wasn't seatbelted?
No,
he was hanging out the window. Yeah, but when we were behind him, he didn't have his seatbelt on.
Oh my God! Was there a kid without a seatbelt?
Okay, where did you obtain that tag?
From foreign state national guy in Alabama who makes it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're aware that in the United States and in the state of Florida, you're required to have specific tags that actually go to the vehicle and is registered. Are you aware of that?
My private automobile.
Okay. You've been filled with some false information. So in the state of Florida, you're required to have a driver's license.
I'm not sure many people are aware.
Pickles Bunny, he's actually never been one that thinks you don't need a driver's license. He's more focused on the cop, like, conduct stuff. Like, he thinks there shouldn't be handcuffs. He doesn't think people should have to go to jail under virtually any circumstance. He's got a lot of kooky ideas, but he's never been the kind of sovereign citizen that actively believes you don't need a driver's license.
We are. I have read a lot about the foreign state nationals.
I don't know. I feel like they give people a bad rap because I've been in situations before.
Okay, Chili, stop.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. With that. Go ahead.
Chili, stop! It hurts.
All right,
you haven't got to the part where he drags her out of the car, puts her in torture cuffs.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because he argued with her to get her to Man, there's a thing about invoking your rights. When you invoke your rights and you stand on your rights and you ask the right questions and you don't argue with people like this, you get a lot further. Okay.
Cameron, that guy would have taken you to jail. That cop right there.
He wouldn't have been
couldn't
able. Hey, if he would have, guess what, bro? I'm gonna spend my night in jail, and I got a federal lawsuit coming, bro.
It's
Okay, no though, you delusional bitch. You delusional fuck. No, you will go to jail and then you can waste money on a federal lawsuit that's gonna get dropped immediately. Like, he's so in his head about this stuff, and he's so confident with no reason that, like, he genuinely cannot imagine a situation in which he is shown to be wrong. He just can't. No, he's absolutely right. No amount of evidence will prove him wrong, ever.
not just a night in jail, Cameron. It's your car's impounded. You can't get to work. Your children are displaced, and they go through trauma. I don't want to pay a driver's license fee. I don't want to pay for registration. I don't want to be forced in those things. I think insurance is a smart thing to have. But what I'm telling you is your idea of telling people not to have a driver's license, I think is completely wrong. And I think that you're going to walk people into cuffs. And I just spent 4 months in jail. It's hell. And I don't want people to go to jail. And I think it's reckless. And I think it's something you should reconsider, because people are going to jail. Listen to what he says. And he's even going to tell her, gets on the phone with one of her guys, and he says something, and the guy says, it's got 4 wheels and a motor, and it goes on public roads. It's a motor vehicle.
Well, that's
and
not
then
right.
he takes her to the dungeon.
Well, that's not right. That won't stand in court.
Yes, it will. It does. It has. We have seen so many sovereign citizen videos, not just at the side of the road, but in the courtroom. Judge Simpson, Judge Webster, all of these people constantly telling sovereign citizens that they don't understand how any of this works.
Yeah, it will stand.
No, Chili.
Did I lose you?
I've never lost, Chili. No, you haven't lost me. I've never lost, bro, in court. I've never been taken to jail for my right to travel. And you want to know why? It's because I stand on truth. I don't sit here and utilize this passport theme. And
Wait, we've seen him get arrested before. We've literally seen multiple videos of him getting arrested. Is he just lying, or was this video before he got arrested? Because this was in January, so this was 5 months ago. But we've seen a video where he's in the back of a cop car and yelling at the cop about this shit.
I got it from this person, and I'm using these private plates that I got from this person with their national emblem all on it. And I'm part of this I'm sovereign U.S. national. I don't play none of that, bro.
In the private chat,
and we've seen his followers get arrested recently.
Video.
True.
Show me the video. I'm in the private. I got you, and we have a private chat on StreamYard here.
Yeah.
Send me the video of you not being arrested and taken to jail, and your car not being impounded for not having a driver's license or registration.
Well, I've got several of them. I do have one.
Send me one. Let's watch it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's watch it, because I've seen Paul and Slave get away with it. I've seen a Tulane X, I think his name is Tuare X. What's his name? He's a black guy where he says I live in the United.
He didn't really get away with it. He tells people that he's on the do not detain list, and he's not. There is no such thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you don't have...
Correct, there is no such thing, but it's not crazier than the shit you believe. It's just a different sect of sovereign citizen belief.
Have a driver's license, you're going to get arrested and go to jail. 99 times out of 100.
Chili, that's not
I was
true.
just in jail with a guy who was 20 years old and was in jail next to me. He was my bunkmate.
Chili, it comes down
am I lying?
No, it comes down to... You're right. You're right. I'm not saying it's not happening.
I don't want to be right, brother. I love you. I respect you. I know you're a freedom fighter.
You're not right.
You're a hero, dude. What I'm saying is you're going to get people thrown in jail.
No. And if I do, Chili, and people know what they know coming out of me, guess what's going to happen? They're going to file their own civil lawsuit, bro, without knowing.
And they'll lose. Why does he think filing a civil lawsuit is an automatic win? Midnight with 100 bits says, Hannah, help, what universe are we in where Chili is the voice of reason? A scary one.
Attorney needed. We have the power. Yes, we have the power of AI now. Listen.
Zolit Lionheart says that, like I've said before, Cameron, in my opinion, is a wannabe cult leader with delusions of grandeur. I agree. When you actually listen to some of his videos and calls with the people in his group, it's borderline religious. It sounds like it sounds like he's delivering a sermon. It's very, very unnerving.
So I have a thing that I made. It's called
Oh yeah, he uses AI to write lawsuits, which we know courts love that.
Operation Wise Dome. And 20 people came together to pay $10 a month to get ChatGPT Pro model. It's $200 a month. So
I love it. I love it. I love it.
He's paying $200 a month for ChatGPT. Oh my god. You ever notice that the people most interested in AI are fucking scammers? Isn't that weird? No, it is $200 a month. They have a $20 version and they have a $200 version now. He's not lying. There is a $200 version of ChatGPT now.
Can I get in the group?
Yeah, it's free. It's free for everybody. So 20 people just pay for everybody to be free, right? It's so cool. Anyway, what we do, Chili, is on that back end, I've learned how to use AI for 2 years. I've used it heavily. And I probably could have gone off and become, maybe a millionaire if I wanted to, dude, by creating an app. I've had the idea and I've been utilizing this and giving it away.
I'm gonna Again, this is the same energy of I'll file a civil lawsuit and I'll win. I'll create an app and I'll be a millionaire. Like, really? You think most people who develop some random fucking app are millionaires? Like, delusional.
Away for free to people. So, but I didn't. I thought I'd utilize my time and not make money and empower people. So instead of making money,
do you think you're empowering people?
Yes.
Do you think that's what you're doing?
Yes. If you get down deep into it.
Yeah, I think the $200 tier has access to their, like, video generator thing.
What we're doing is we're learning all of our constitutional rights, how to invoke all those constitutional rights, how to make sure that our servants are doing what they're supposed to in relation to knowing our constitutional rights. Then if we go into court, not also are we knowing the violations and rights, but we're knowing what we're to file, what principles, doctrines, rules, and procedures we are to invoke, because guess what? The court's going to skip right over those until you invoke them. And most lawyers cannot do it because they are part of an association.
Hold on a second.
None of that's true.
Isabel, listen, he's not a clown. Cameron is a freedom fighter. He is an absolutely wonderful person. We disagree here, but he's a wonderful person. He's not a clown. This is a good man.
No, we don't disagree because we both want freedom.
I just want Isabel to know that. Yes, Isabel to the channel, and I love Isabel, but I don't want to insult you. That's why I'm biting my tongue all the time so that I don't interrupt you and I give you a fair opportunity to present your case. I'm on the other side of the line on this with you. I don't want to tell people not to get a driver's license and to join a ChatGPT group and they can fight their case in AI after their car gets impounded and they get put in torture cuffs and drugged down to a dungeon.
It's not just AI. It's utilizing law, case law. We can be in Google Scholar.
Did I see what, Mr. Blast?
Can I tell you where the nightmares come from? Let me tell you where the nightmares come from.
What?
You're gonna turn around. You're gonna face the wall. You're gonna take off all your clothes. You're gonna drop them on the ground. And if you turn or twist in any direction, I'm gonna consider that an act of violence, and I'm gonna hurt you.
They're pretty wild,
what you'll
Oh
do,
my god! Delete Lawz is tearing up. Oh fuck, here comes his acting chops.
is you'll put your hands on both sides of your ass cheeks. You will bend over at the hips and not the knees.
And cough.
You will spread your ass cheeks and you will cough twice, 2 heavy coughs. And if you don't do exactly as I tell you to do right here, right now, we're going to
I see why he got fired from Power Rangers.
hurt you and hurt you badly.
It's crazy. I get it, man.
So don't tell me, bro. Don't tell me.
Tell you.
It is very real. If you tell people not to get a driver's license, that's what they're going to go through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even disagree with that. I think he's being a bit melodramatic, but yeah, if you go to jail, they're gonna fucking check you. You might have to do the squat and cough. It's not gonna be a fun thing. Cameron is actively trying to get people to do stuff that is going to wind them up in situations that are not great.
Hey, I'll tell you something like this, bro. I've been to prison, not just jail. So
yeah.
Whoa, sick burn.
How long were you in prison for?
I was in prison for 2 years, bro. So
Dude,
when
I
it
didn't know
comes
that.
down
I'm
to
so
it,
sorry that happened to you.
yeah, it's all good. I made bad
Why were you in prison for 2 years? Can I ask? Why were you in prison for 2 years?
choices in my younger life, and I paid my debt to society, and I came out a better person. So it's actually a
Maybe a better person. Less informed, maybe, as well. I don't know who you got this information from.
blessing, because I don't think I'd be where I'm at now without everything that happened to me in life. And I'm so proud of everything that I went through, because I wouldn't be where I'm at, man. So when it comes down to it, yeah, I had to spread my ass cheeks a couple times. Part of the game, man. Part of it, bro. Part of it, dude. Better bend over and cough, man. Hey, man.
I just don't think that telling people to
It's a little funny that Cameron is able to laugh about that, but Chili continually tries to make it out to be the worst thing that's ever happened to him. That's kind of interesting.
not get a driver's license.
I don't tell people that. What I tell people is that you don't have to have a driver's license. You can have a driver's license.
You do need to have a driver's license to operate your car, your motor vehicle, your personal conveyance on public roadways.
Still invoke your right to travel. You don't ever have to give up a driver's license. You don't ever have to give up insurance. And I'll show you just a couple things right here real quick. So,
But can we pause for a second, Cameron? Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Listen.
Yeah, that's cool.
No. I just want to focus on what I just said to you.
Yeah.
And I understand that you're a horse of a different color, my friend. I understand. I spent, as soon as my brain fog didn't bust until a couple weeks ago, and then I spent a couple hours watching your videos. Okay.
What? Watch out. Bro,
So let me explain something to you. Being demoralized, having to spread your ass, show your guts to 4 people behind you. You may have recovered for that. It's the only thing that still haunts me. And it's so horrible. And some of the people in this chat here, if they listen to you and they say, I'm not going to get a driver's license.
So you're Res 1492.
They're going to face that. They're going to face my nightmares.
Well, they better.
And I think that's, but hold on. Don't just go, oh yeah, okay.
Well, I was going to agree.
It's
I
horrible.
Agree with that. And I agree with that. But
It's horrific.
But at the same time, it's also horrific to disrespect the millions of people that actually died for us to have our freedoms in the first place.
That's when he gets backed up against the wall. That's what he goes to. People died. Millions of people died for. Stop it, Cameron. Millions of people did not die, so you could fucking not have a driver's license. Delusional.
And when it's so clearly stated in relation to the Supreme Court law, you know what I'm saying, that in the Supreme Court law that we've had the right to travel for so long now, I can't see it any other way. If I'm going to sit here...
Well, I suggest you do if you don't want to damage your future prospects.
Explain to me the 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland, where the Supreme Court says that the driver's license, the DMV, can be established. You have to have a registration, you have to have a license, and you have to register your car. But tell me when it changed, so I can educate me here. We don't have to battle. Okay, so then that's the law.
Okay, so then let's get it right then. The law applies to drivers. A driver is one who is employed on the roads doing commerce.
You are reading from an almost 100-year-old edition of Black's Law's Dictionary, and you are misunderstanding what it is saying to you. One employed in operating a motor vehicle does not mean employed as in they're working for someone. It means employed as in you are making use of something. I'm employing this water bottle. That's not usually how we would describe it colloquially these days, but that's because you're citing, once again, a law dictionary that's 100 years old. The modern Black's Law Dictionary, or even more recent versions that aren't the up-to-date version, which I think is the 12th edition, have a different definition that falls more in line with what we colloquially refer to as driver, because that's what they mean. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up? Driver? We've done it before, but I'll look it up.
Either transporting his property or his goods. The second aspect is a motor vehicle. A motor vehicle must meet a certain weight limit, if you didn't know that. And
the edition I have, by the way, is not the up-to-date version. It's the 5th edition from the 70s. The current edition, like I said, is the 12th.
Motor vehicle aspect is all in relation to transportation, in relation to them actual goods or property. Now, when we look at the aspect of doing commerce on the roads, knowing that the roads are actually open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel, and actually go into not only my ordinance codes within my city, the municipal codes, and then I can go into the county, and I can look at the county and look at the definition of county road. And what it actually states is that it's every street, way, lane, alley, byway, highway.
Here's a definition of driver from Black's Law's Dictionary, 5th edition. Driver, a person actually doing driving, whether employed by the owner to drive or driving his own vehicle. Driving, to urge forward under guidance, compelled, to go in a particular direction, urge onward, to direct the course of. Driver's license, the certificate or license issued by a state which authorizes a person to operate a motor vehicle. There, you got some extra definitions in there, too.
Okay, and what it states is that it's open as a, and I'm quoting, I'm looking right at it right now, open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel. Now,
hats off, Phoenix. What do you want me to wear for the hats off?
If you're willing to have your car towed and your
cat judge,
kids stripped away, and you're going to be demoralized and chained up. Yes, it is. Let me ask you a question.
It's maybe because people operating wrong on the traffic stop. Maybe they need to operate a little bit different.
I've been doing this right here. I've had this trifold right here for 3 years. I've sold this trifold to thousands of people, given it away to tens of thousands of people. Do you know how many videos I have of people using it? A couple dozen.
Yeah.
And I've given it to tens of thousands of people. I can't even get people to shut the front door, invoke their Fifth Amendment, have their license, registration, and proof of insurance ready to go. But now you think that you think that Jenna Weeks is going to go, you know what, officer? I have a right to travel in this country. I'm not.
That's an interesting avenue I've never even really considered about this. Because I wouldn't. Because, like, it's just a different angle than I would think about it from. I've never thought of the fact that, like, even if any of this stuff was true, you expect the vast majority of people to have the confidence to talk back to a cop? I never even considered that. Because none of it's true. So it doesn't matter. But it is funny to think about, even if this was true, the vast majority of people wouldn't do this.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
No,
this car is
no
not
argument.
being used in commerce, and you can't take me to jail. You can't look up my ass, and you can't strip my children, and you can't impound my car. You think that that's a reality?
For the record, you can't look up my ass.
You think that's a reality?
Point of order, no one is allowed to look up my ass. Thank you for your time. This hearing is adjourned. Ass court.
9 years, bro. I've proved it.
You've been in prison for 2 years. They looked up your ass how many times?
Bro, that was like 15 years ago. It's 15 years ago, but listen, I don't want to get in no arguing match with you.
No, I'm not going to. Dude, I got nothing but respect and love for you, man. Okay, what I'm saying to you is, though, is telling people not to get a driver's license. I watched your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Is the wrong way. You're going to walk people into jail.
Okay.
Whether I like it or not. Do I agree with the driver's license scam? I don't.
Philly, I could say the same thing about what you was doing 2 years ago, bro. But I don't. I don't want to do that. It's not me to judge you. Okay? What I'm here to do is present the facts. I'm not here to present my opinions. All I do on my channel is read from the books, the law. So,
and the application of law and the theory of law are two completely different things. They are night and day.
Okay, well, I'm living proof that I've never lost. So what do you want me to do? What else do you want me to say to you? If I never lose and other people do, then what do you? I never lose. You want to know why? Because I don't have a contract with the state. They can never, ever enforce fines against me.
He said he lost twice. Yeah, and he's talking about going to jail. We've seen him get arrested.
It's still up there on the...
Delusional.
Here, let me show you. It's right here on my... We keep it up just to laugh about it.
Okay, cool. So, listen, I completely disagree. And John, you think I lost my principles of liberty, principles of freedom? You must not know anything at all about me whatsoever.
Do you see what this says? What does it say?
Let me see what it says. I can't see it very well. Something about a license suspension? Oh, your driving privileges, including your something, have been suspended beginning on the following date. Oh, this is a letter that says your license is suspended. You call that a win? He calls it a win?
You're driving what?
Suspended? Your
Okay, what
driving
is it?
privileges are suspended?
Pterodona, thanks for 100 bits, says the lost. The penalty was 2 years in the pen.
Okay, not my driver. Wait. Not my driver's license. Let's read it all the way, Chili. Wait.
I can't see it very well. Can you just read it to us? I believe you. Just read it so we can
Your
understand.
driving privileges, including your right to apply for those privileges, have been suspended.
And you consider that better? He considers that better. That's a loss. Okay, so when he says he always wins, he's just so delusional that he takes losses and calls them wins. I see. He's that kind of delusional. That's a shame.
I don't drive. I just showed you.
He's such a stupid bitch. Something toxic positivity. I don't even know where to go with this.
A cop that admitted it. The first thing you played was a cop stating, hey man, I get it. You're not driving, you're traveling, you're not in commerce.
You had that happen?
You're sitting here.
Do you think that's what that letter says? You think that they're agreeing with you? Oh God.
That was the first video you just pulled up. What are you talking about, Chili?
So
I don't get why you're sitting here. Wait. I don't get why you're sitting here arguing with me saying, I don't believe you, Cameron, that it's about commerce when the cop just said on the record that it's about commerce. Okay. That was the first 60-second clip you played. Right. And now you want to say it's not about commerce.
I think that she does the same thing that you do. But let's just see what happens.
If you try and say she's not doing the same thing as you, it's a distinction without a difference.
Happens to her.
Civil suit?
And they keep calling me a sovereign citizen and like.
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not. And when you look it up on the internet, it'll tell you, right? But
it'll ask me to stop.
Essentially,
go ahead, Cameron. I want to give you. I want to give you a fair shot here because
you hear that sovereign citizen. You hear that sovereign citizen?
No, she said that she's being accused of being a sovereign citizen.
Well, guess what? Sovereign citizen is actually the highest type of citizen you can be in the United States.
I find it so funny that his current line is to call it discriminatory if the cops call you a sovereign citizen, but he also does this thing where he's like, actually, no, I am a sovereign citizen, though, and that's actually a good thing to be.
On the record, May 3rd.
He's gonna read a really, really old document and act as though somehow them using the phrase sovereign citizen means that the stuff he's doing is legitimate. It's not. It's a weird Mott and Bailey. They have nothing to do with each other than this really old legal ruling uses the phrase sovereign citizen, but they're not using it in the same way we use sovereign citizen. Completely different meaning.
1940 Joint Resolution for Citizenship Day was enacted, okay? Within this joint resolution, it says that a sovereign citizen, or 2 million we have every year 2 million young men and women that reach the age of 21 that
yeah, man, they don't mean sovereign citizen like cops mean it or I mean it when we're talking to you. Definitions of things change over time. We don't mean it the way that this document is referring to individual citizens as, quote, sovereign.
Become the most responsible and highest of a sovereign citizen in our self-governing republic. 1940 Joint Resolution. I'll give you the link right now.
No, it's not.
Yes, they're referring to them as sovereign because we as citizens have the ability to vote for representatives. That makes us sovereign, is what they are saying, is that we hold the power to represent, or rather elect representatives to make decisions within the government. They're not using it like you are, where you think you as an individual are sovereign. It's about the body politic. It's not about you, the person, being exempt from specific codes you don't like.
So let's break down what you just said. In our self-governing republic, so what is a republican government?
Well,
we live in a republic, so what's a self-governing republic mean?
meaning that we can govern ourselves. We don't need someone telling us.
That's not what it means. Not at all.
That's what I take it. And that's what my...
Okay, the way you take it is irrelevant. You're not the court.
Incorrect. That's you're misinterpreting the reading. A Republican, we can't both talk at the same time. So let me speak, and then I'll be quiet and I'll let you talk. So what that means is we live in a Republican government, meaning a representative government, not Republican Democrat. That's not what a Republican government means. A Republican government means that they're going to put little bunches of people together, voting blocks, counties that we live in now, and then for each little huddle of people they put together, Topeka, Kansas has a representative. That representative is called a Republican. So that Republican representative for that group of people in Topeka, Kansas, they go to the bigger group meeting with all the other Republican governors, and they have a meeting. Those people got together and said, we the people, because the Republicans represent the people, the representative government, and they said in every single state from Alaska to Florida to Hawaii to Tennessee, they all said that you have to have a Department of Motor Vehicles, you have to have a driver's license, you have to have a registration.
It's not always a Department of Motor Vehicles. Like, for instance, Michigan has a Secretary of State that has the same function, but by and large, yes. It's not all Department of Motor Vehicles. It's vested in some thing within the state, some organization.
And you have to have insurance. I didn't make that up. It's been like the way before I was born.
Yeah.
And if in those Republican government, the people who represent us, we are the people. The people in the House, in the Senate, are the people because they represent the people. Now, they may not do the bidding of the people, but whatever they bid is in the name of the people. We are the sovereign. The sovereign means the power.
Yeah.
If you don't have a driver's license, you're going to jail 99 times out of 100.
I can't believe that Chili's like on the ball with that. Like he's actually explaining this pretty well to this guy.
No.
Who's been arrested for not having a driver's license and going to jail? Me.
I've never been arrested for not having a driver's license.
We have literally seen a video where that's a thing. Do I need to pull it up to make a goddamn point? Like, oh, do I need to pull up him in the backseat of a fucking car? We've seen it. We've seen it. Hold on, where's the thing where he gets arrested? We watched it a while back, but it's frustrating to me that he's lying about this. It's kind of crazy. Let me find the one where he actually gets arrested. There have been times where he gets given a warning, but I know there's at least one where he went to jail because we fucking watched it. See, not that one. Where is the one where he goes to dang jail? Where is he? In the back of the cop car. We covered it on stream a while back. Ugh. Ah, here it is, I think. This is when he got out of the car. Yeah. And then here he is in the back seat of the car after he's getting arrested. What again? You want to say that again, Cameron? Oh no! Okay, you know what? This was 2 months ago. So when he talked to Chili, he hadn't been arrested yet. So there you go. Okay, so he wasn't lying. He was just ahead of the curve. Or rather, he didn't know what was going to happen. So there you go. All right. Glad we figured that one out. So he's not lying. It just hadn't happened yet.
Okay, Chili, I've never gone to jail for having a driver's for not.
Let me give the date because I have a bunch of trolls. I went to jail in Euless, Texas. EUELESS. Euless.
Before this, didn't he cut off the video before showing his arrest? I genuinely don't know. I am willing to take his word that that's the only time he's been arrested for this particular thing. If I'm proven wrong, excellent. But that's the only arrest I have seen, and I'm not going to make assumptions outside of that.
Texas, and I believe it's going to be in 1996 or 97, somewhere in there. You can still find my mugshot from Euless, Texas, when I was pulled over, didn't have a driver's license, and was taken to jail for not having a driver's license. I was driving my girlfriend's car. They impounded my car.
Yeah,
I was in jail for 4 days.
Is it unconstitutional or not? If you're a constitutional scholar,
I paid the tickets. I had no choice.
Is it unconstitutional for them to arrest you? Is it a warrantless arrest or not?
What does
You
a
don't need a warrant to arrest someone if the cop sees you commit a crime.
warrantless arrest must require? What does a warrantless arrest require
Well,
across the United States?
A warrantless arrest, probable cause. You have to have probable cause to arrest.
Trey says, here's something else we might have to keep in mind, and this guy is so delusional, he may not even interpret himself being arrested as actually being arrested, but might even determine being detained to be something altogether different. But, like, he was arrested! He was booked!
Me.
Okay, no. What is...
And I think he is trying to file a lawsuit, and someone else pointed out to me that, all of his motions in the lawsuit so far have been denied by the judge, which is pretty funny.
Does a warrantless arrest entail within the definitions uniform throughout the United States? There must be a gross what? A gross what? You got this one.
I give up. Go ahead. Answer.
A gross misdemeanor.
Right. Okay, cool. And if you don't have a driver's license and you're driving a car, you're going to jail, or your car's getting impounded, or both.
Do you not understand how the law works, bro? When someone does
understand.
something illegal to you,
shockingly, he seems to understand it better than you, so you've set a new low bar. Just a peach with the $1 tip says, I think he thinks a dismissal is the same as a win. He doesn't understand that a failure to identify is for, that the failure to identify is for not having a driver's license. Yeah, it's hard to think around what his delusions are.
that you have remedy. Do you understand how this works? When your constitutional rights are violated, we don't live in fear. We live in knowing that we are a creation of the Creator and nothing can come against us unless we harm another. We don't succumb. Listen, I'm going to tell you the best quote. This is the best one for you, Chili. You got to understand. Administration of a free man is repugnant to his freedom. You will not administer me, buddy.
It's a great theory.
You will not regulate me.
Beautiful.
No one will tell me that a driver's license is going to ensure that I drive safe on the road. Are we correct?
Well, it's not the license shows that you have passed the test that determines if you're safe on the road. So it's indicative that you have succeeded some sort of standardized test.
Or not? Let me ask you this. Let's do this a different way. Chili. Let me ask you this. Does a driver's license actually ensure someone is driving safely on the road?
It ensures that they passed the standardized test that shows that they're informed about at least the basic traffic laws, and it is a requirement. So, like, this smug, weird thing you're doing right now is irrelevant and makes you look like a dickbag.
You're not safe. We live in a police state. You're not safe in your own house. You're never safe.
Okay.
Right now, the cops can kick down my door and attack me and beat me.
Now,
and before I can ever get any sort of remedy, I'm going to be beaten. I'm going to be chained. I'm going to be taken to a dungeon. They're going to look up my ass. They're going to abuse me. They're going to lock
Very obsessed with the ass thing.
me in a cage for days or weeks or months even. And then I may be able to get out of that. And
now
then
we're getting
what's my remedy? What's my remedy?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Patrick, good to see you.
We'll get to the
already
remedy.
happened.
Wait, we'll get to
You're
the
okay
remedy.
with people looking up your ass. It doesn't affect your soul.
No, I'm not.
Did he just say it affects his soul to have people look up his ass? I can't tell if he's being too precious about his asshole or if I'm not being precious enough about mine.
All right with it.
It's all relative.
Well, I'm not, but I'll tell you this much.
These people are not okay with it.
I'm not okay with it either, but what I will tell you with is now I'm not going to allow take myself back to that moment to re-traumatize myself. So I'm going to laugh it off. I've learned how to control my emotional state and my mental state so that I don't go back to relive trauma, right?
So is that what I tell Jennifer Hill? Is that what I tell Jennifer Hill?
Black's Law, what do you want, or Jay's a proxy, what do you want me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary?
Is that what I
cavity or whatever's close?
I tell Kelly? Do I say, hey, Kelly, listen, don't worry about your kids being taken away. Don't worry about them doing cavity searches. Don't worry about that. You're going to get remedy later.
Come on, man. Don't use that.
No, I mean, it's true. What are you talking about?
All right. So where I was
Am I lying? No, okay.
Yeah, go, Chili. Don't let him back.
Let you go on and on and on. Am I lying?
No,
99 out of 100 people are going to fucking jail, bro. Am I lying? You might have been able to pull it off. How many people do you see actually? How many people do you see actually pull it off?
Essentially, it is a sovereign citizen entity.
There's no cavity in here. How about caveat emptor? Let a purchaser beware who ought not be ignorant that he is purchasing the rights of another. Let a buyer beware, for he ought not be ignorant of what they are when he buys the rights of another. There you go.
Do you have keys to the vehicle? Can you hand me the keys?
No, I cannot.
Okay, step out of the car for me.
Watch what happens to her, Cameron. In front of her three kids.
I know, bro.
Watch what happens, kid.
I know, bro.
Get out of the car.
I agree with you, Cameron.
I know, bro.
I'm with you, dude.
I know.
If there, hold on. Let's watch this right here.
Can you unlock it?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Real quick, Professor Daddy 1118 with 34 months says, so I live in Red, Idaho, and some bar threw a hetero awesome fest down right by our state capitol, and nobody showed up. They had more porta potties than people, and that makes me feel good. I saw photos of that. Very funny.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
A fun fact, there are 0 countries in the world where it is illegal to be straight. No place in the world is it illegal to be straight.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Stop.
Oh, this made me sad with the kids. I try to avoid sob-sit videos where there's like kids for pretty obvious reasons. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Something here. This is the most important part to me. So they put her in a cage. I can spare you all this bullshit here. They treat her like shit. She's crying.
3 kids in the car. They're freaking out right now. This is Officer Fager with the Edgewater Police Department. Who am I speaking with?
This is Joshua. What's going on?
Are you Are you husband or father of the kid?
No, don't touch me! I'm not going to touch you. Like her, I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, well, you can review the body camera footage because it was her.
Video where you got
Say, just by them saying that is bias, bro. You don't understand. Hold on,
real quick here. So Dave Hart, go ahead and send me in your video where you got pulled over and you didn't have your driver's license. Go ahead and send it in. John Adams in the chat. Go ahead and show me where you took on any cop face to face. Go ahead. I got hundreds of videos where I take on cops. Show me yours. Show me yours, Dave Hart. Show me where you put yourself on video and you've taken on anybody. Show me. You badass. You're real tough in the comments. I actually take on cops. What do you? I've gotten 5 cops fired. 1 cop went to prison because of what I did. How about you?
I've never seen him provide evidence of that, for the record.
Hey, Chili.
Where you at, bro? Show me your videos, punk ass. I want to see these guys' videos of them not having a license or registration, and then this didn't happen to them. Go ahead, sir.
It's 11:27. Come on, bro. Let's really get to it. So what I think I can agree with you on is the aspect that this is ridiculous, right?
Oh, Cameron loves the word aspect, by the way, as a filler word. He'll use it all the time, even when it's not appropriate. So if you want to do a drinking game, which I don't recommend, anytime Cameron says aspect during any of these streams, there you go.
And it's based on something meaningless, correct? Because a license in and of itself does not determine the safety of the person.
Okay, listen, man, if you want to talk about the efficacy of licensing, that's a different conversation. It's required. So stop trying to move the goalposts and talk about these, like, secondary things. You need to have a driver's license to operate your vehicle on public roads, and if you don't, bad stuff's gonna happen.
In which they operate on the roads.
No, listen, the rule of law is not meaningless. So listen, the rule of law is not meaningless.
Does what I'm saying is, does the driver's license ensure the person's driving safety? And if
no, but the rule of law must be upheld.
Yeah, for safety. I totally agree with that.
Not for
If you're
safety.
safe on the
Not for
roads, if you're
safety. Not for safety.
what
The rule of law must
for
be
a
upheld
license?
to uphold our rights. That's what the
What do
rule
you-
of
so
law
we
is
need-
for.
So we need to have a driver's license, is what you're saying? We need to have someone to tell us that
Okay,
we're
so
competent.
you
right?
don't get to pick and choose which law the representatives in a Republican government that you're not going to follow. That's called a sovereign
Yeah,
citizen.
that is. No, it's not. It's
Right.
called freedom because I have the power. Listen, now, in the Constitution, it says I have unlimited power to contract, right?
This isn't a contract thing. It's a law thing.
Well, guess what?
It's a legality. It's not about contract law. It's about criminality.
I also have unlimited power not to contract.
Altered Undying with 40 bits says, Hannah, I just had a health breakthrough. I don't have fatigue. I realized today I have vertigo. I felt like I was falling for years. It feels insane to say, but now I know, you know? That's good that you found that out. Yeah, my grandma has vertigo really bad. She'll have, like, spells where, like, she literally has to lay down for, like, days because she has such bad vertigo. So I'm glad that you figured out what it was, and I hope you're able to... I don't know if there's any treatments or ways to cope with that, but either way, I'm glad that you have a diagnosis. That's always relieving.
Because I can never be forced to do anything against my own free will. That would be what's called slavery. Now, what I will say is this. Traffic law reform
Following the law isn't slavery.
is something that I've developed. I developed it back in September of last year. And what I developed is a petition. This petition.
It's like the Tucker Carlson Ted Cruz interview. I hate them both, but right now one is more right than the other. Yeah, it's very much a Godzilla let them fight moment.
Is going to get sent out once we get to 1,000 signatures over to all of our legislators, senators.
You think 1,000 signatures in a nation of like 340 million people is gonna put anything on the scales? Are you out of your mind? Oh, I got 1,000 signatures. Okay, great, cool beans. Doesn't mean anything. That's nothing.
Representatives, and what we're aiming for is traffic law reform to stop the injustices that are coming upon our people, because over the past 3 years what we've had is over 3,600 people die, bro, from traffic stops alone. Now that's just deaths. That's not tragedies in relation to people becoming homeless because they lose their car because they didn't be able to pay for the registration tag, and they just decide we need to tow it. It doesn't need to be on the roads, even though you was driving perfectly safe. So what we've done is we've developed a petition that I would love to get your support on, because I'm sure you could support traffic law reform so we quit having these travesties happen to people who have brought no harm to another, who have done no crime. Because I don't think a piece of paper status, if it's approved or not approved, determines whether someone should lose their private property, because that's a violation of due process, right?
Personal property.
You have to have an opportunity. You have to be given an opportunity. You have to give notice. You have to have an opportunity to cure that notice. Well, people's property is just getting taken without no due process, and that's illegal.
It's not just happening in cars. That's happening if you have cash. That's happening if you have...
Yeah, civil asset forfeiture is a pretty fucked up thing.
Anything.
I would agree.
Stealing our property constantly. We're not living under the rule of law. We're living in a police state, prison state, death state. That's what we're living in. We're living in a total tyrannical government that has lost its Republican representation.
Bravo Needs Bacon 40 bits says, being slightly mildly inconvenienced or doing something you're supposed to do equals slavery. I can't stand both these guys. Yeah.
It has lost the rule of law, and it's become rule of the elitists. They get a call on you. They come in, cops show up. There's nothing going on, but yet they come up to you and say, we got a call about you. Well, the cops got there. They got 2 eyes and 2 ears. They can look around and see that Cameron's not doing anything wrong. They should just leave you alone and go home and go call the person back and go, yeah, we got the guy that you called on, but he's not doing anything. He's just sitting here, right? So that's what it should be, right? That should be the rule of law. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, specifically describing the place or things to be searched and the person to be seized. That's what our Fourth Amendment says. That's not what we're living under. They bastardized what is reasonable on the hinges of reasonableness. We can create reasonable articulable suspicion, but you advocate for people not to have a driver's license. I think it's reckless. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's short-sighted. I think you're going to walk people into a dungeon. That's what I think you're going to do.
Well,
And I think
everybody
the
has,
people's cars are going to be
everybody has
impounded.
free
They're going
will.
to lose their children. Do you know the guy that I covered 2 weeks ago or so? He got pulled over. He didn't have a driver's license. He got arrested. He lost his kids. Now what? Now
That's
what?
his choice, bro. Everybody has free choice, man. What do you mean? All I
Do you
can
want
do
to
is
lose your
read the
kids
law.
because you don't have a driver's license?
I
You're
would
in a
never
custody.
lose my
You're in a
kids.
custody battle with your wife. You don't have a driver's license. You're one of these people that says I don't have a driver's license. The wife goes to court. She tells the Department of Youth Services. She says, my husband Cameron, my ex-husband Cameron, he doesn't believe he has to have a driver's license, but he wants to put our kids in his car. What does the judge say? Take the kids, give them to the mother.
Really?
That's what you're advocating for. And in the name of freedom. And then people who never stand up to anybody, don't have any videos, have never taken on a cop, never got anybody fired, never paid the price ever, are going to say, you don't understand the principles of liberty.
And that's why we're fighting for traffic law reform.
Okay, but in the meantime, it's one thing to go out and say you want to change the law. I disagree with what you want to change about the law, but it's your right to do so. If you want to petition the government, if you want to go out of your way to try and talk to representatives about what you believe, that's your right. I would never say that you shouldn't do that, or that you can't do that, at the very least. But that doesn't mean that in the meantime you get to ignore that law. It's so stupid. Imperfect Rebus, what do you want me to wear for the hats off?
That's a great big fuck you to you, bro. Show me your videos of you doing shit in this world.
Well, that's
right?
what
So,
we're doing.
so show me where you've done anything. Listen, I agree with you. Where I don't agree with you is telling people not to have a driver's license. It's not that I don't want that. It has nothing to do with that.
Bigger, right? Can we come together on traffic law reform, though?
Dude, we're together now, my friend. I'm not against you. I'm for you, but I'm against you telling people not to have a driver's license.
Well, you've mentioned that about 7 times. I don't want to fight about it. You've made your point. Are we done now?
It's not that. It's this right here, bro. Now
Hey,
she
man.
pulls up
Yes,
and she has the same license plate.
Listen, you're playing some.
1,000 signatures say, wear another hat, double animal ears if you have more, or just something comfy with what you got. I'll add the wolf ears. That's fine.
Somebody that I don't know, nor you don't know. If you want to play somebody, you could play Luis's situation. That's like the best situation to showcase what we do on our side. So you're showing the victim side. You're not showing our side. I have a guy, his name is Luis. He just got arrested maybe 2 months ago. They were parked at a gas station on private property, had private plates. He has no driver's. Actually, he did have a driver's license. They still towed his car. Okay.
But it wasn't registered and he didn't have a plate. Like, I understand that he was on private property at a gas station, but like, how did he get to the gas station? You know what I mean? Like, pretty obviously he drove to the gas station, unless he can prove that he, like, got a tow truck, towed his vehicle to the gas station, and planned on towing it back home. He obviously drove to get there.
I believe you there.
So it don't matter if you have a driver's license or not. You're toting it around like that's some kind of, it matters. It doesn't matter. These cops act crazy. They act wild. They fabricate felony charges out of nothing.
Okay, let me respond to you there. It does too matter, because had the guy who lost his kids had a driver's license, his wife wouldn't have been able to court and say, hey, this guy doesn't think that he has to have a driver's license. He wouldn't have lost custody of his children.
No, that's not the reason. The reason
the judge is going to be on her side.
No, the reason he lost in court is because he doesn't know how to represent himself. He doesn't know how to invoke doctrines.
It can't be that I'm wrong. That guy was just a dipshit.
He doesn't know how to write his own
That guy may have been a dipshit, but also he was wrong.
motions. He doesn't know how the process of the court goes. He doesn't know how to file appeals. He doesn't know how to file injunctive stay of relief pending appeals. He doesn't know how to apply certain principles in relation to the rules as far as 211 in relation to judicial reviews, malfeasance, any kind of prosecution.
Oh, malfeasance. He's just saying words now to sound right. Cameron is the epitome of someone who thinks that talking the most and the loudest is how you determine who's right.
That's why. It's not about, it's about people not knowing how to defend themselves. We are the highest. It's not about the judge is not going to listen. Bro, we make the judge listen, because when we invoke rule, okay, let me ask you this then.
You go to jail. You go to jail. You don't make the judge listen. The judges are cock-sucking assholes in this
Judges
country.
have to. Okay, well, great, dude. We're making them listen to us. So I don't know what you got going on.
Listen to what
Maybe
Luke said here. So where are the
victim
videos?
people.
I didn't want to talk over you here. Where are the videos of people getting away with not driving with the driver's license? How many videos are there?
I have like 3 or 4 on my channel. Now,
right, but I've seen one
have-
other guy. I've seen 3 people in my lifetime. In the entire life I've been, 4 people. I saw 4 people.
Chief, what about, okay, now I got chiefs admitting to it. What else you want me to get? I got a chief
not
admitting.
admitting. No. Wait. Hold on. I sell a trifold. No, let me talk about my sales here. Okay, I sell a trifold. I sell a trifold. I teach people, have your license registration, put it in your trifold, invoke your Fifth Amendment right. Then there's all these case laws that I talk about on my trifold, okay?
So
if you don't have the license, I tell them that your trifold's useless. It doesn't matter if I give you a trifold or not. If you don't have the basic documents, you're going to jail.
Okay,
or your car is getting impounded.
Well, I have one chief from Ridgefield that admitted to the right to drive.
He didn't admit it, you idiot. He said he understood what you believed. He didn't say it was true. He's genuine. Like, this guy scares me. Cameron scares me because he's the kind of narcissist, delusional person who is able to contort everything he hears to mean whatever he wants. And that's scary. Very scary. He just hears what he wants to hear, and no one can convince him otherwise.
Am I lying?
Not drive. Okay.
Am I lying, Cameron?
I have a second chief that came after him that was a female. She also admitted to it.
Female.
I have a cop on the record that you played the video on right before I came on and started talking, that black guy, where he said, yep, you have the right. He's admitted on it. Then I also have a woman cop. Then I have a woman cop on that same Ridgefield
What's the difference between the female cop and the woman cop?
Incident state that it's all in commerce and the state is nothing but a corporation. Then I go to...
I promise they didn't say that. I promise that's something he misheard or misinterpreted because of how he is.
Court and win with a motion of dismissal based on my abatement because I finally perfected it. And now I've never paid a fine ever due to my right to travel, nor have I ever been locked up. So you're putting a lot of fear out there to make people fear as though they need someone to, like the driver's license, somehow magically make someone a better driver.
It's a requirement. It makes sure that you passed a basic test that tests whether or not you understand the rules of the road and can do basic driving. It's a low bar, but it is a bar nonetheless.
Driver's license doesn't matter, bro.
It does.
A piece of paper with your ID on it doesn't make you a good driver. That is
okay. Guess what? You still need it, motherfucker.
Irrelevant.
No, but what
your
it does,
operation of your how you conduct yourself on the roads determines if you should be pulled over or not, and only then, because we live in
Listen, man, your opinion doesn't trump the law.
America. Do you get that? Do you understand that? You understand that, right?
If I'm allowed to respond, I'll respond. I don't want to talk over you, though, because I want to try to be respectful as I can to you, because I got nothing against you personally. Okay. But what you just said is having a driver's license doesn't matter. Full stop. Incorrect. Complete and utter full stop. I was in jail with the guy who was arrested for not having a driver's license just this year in jail. I'm sorry, it's 2025 now. So it was last year. He was my bunkmate right next to me. When he left jail, he gave me his blanket. His name's Juanito. He didn't have a driver's license and he went to jail. He was sitting right next to me. Furthermore, if you don't have a driver's license, I didn't interrupt you. You are going to jail.
I'm going to go to sleep, bro.
But am I wrong?
I'm going to go to sleep.
No, I mean,
he's giving up. He's running away. He's giving up. We did it.
I'm not teaching the rights, bro. And you say you're a constitutional scholar, bro. It's not good.
So you're not going to go to jail? I mean, don't tap out. I mean, you're tougher than that. You went to prison for 2 years. You had people look up your ass 100 times. Stay with me here. You're tough. You don't gotta tap out.
I mean,
listen. Who won? Chili, and it's not even close. Chili wasn't accurate on everything he said, and I didn't agree with him on everything he said. But he absolutely fucking bodied Cameron. It wasn't even close.
You sent me 40 emails. I responded. Now I said, "Come on, let's have the conversation." I have
sent
40
you
emails.
6 emails and I can prove it, bro.
I don't care. You sent me 1 email. How about that? Who gives a shit? What I'm talking about is you telling people not to have a driver's license, and I think that you're going to bring people and put them in a dungeon. That's why I had you on. I read your emails. I watched your videos.
I'll just say my one last thing that's nice as possible.
You can have the last word, sir.
I hope that we can move forward on traffic law reform.
I'm with you.
And I just want you to remember, bro, administration in any aspect of a free man is very repugnant to his freedom.
No, it's not. Be an adult. Learn that you're not the only human being on the planet.
I love you,
You're still gonna go. I love you too, bro. You're still gonna go to jail, though.
If I do, I got a civil suit and I'm ready to move forward.
Okay, and you're gonna lose.
All right, everybody. This is Power Inherent to the People. That's his channel. If you want to subscribe, he has a lot of information about what you should or shouldn't. Love you too, man. What you should and shouldn't say if you're not going to have a driver's license. He's got some information he can share with you.
Don't plug him.
So, I mean, if you're interested in doing that, then go follow his channel.
What changes do they seek to traffic law? They want to do away with it.
And subscribe and like all of his videos and watch all of his videos so you can learn what he knows. Okay?
You be good, bro.
All right, take care, Cameron. Later, brother. So it's incorrect. You're gonna go to jail.
Yup. So tired. So tired. Anyway, we can move on from that.
In maritime courts, corporations can only contract with other corporations. A lawyer can only represent you as a corporation. And let me ask you a question, Ann.
We have about an hour left in the stream. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor, like the stream. I'd appreciate it. If you want to help support the stream, you can always become a member on YouTube, subscriber on Twitch, or gift subs. All right.
Corporation run a red light?
No, my corporation cannot run a red light.
No. So he's giving you an affidavit of fiction because he works for a legal fiction.
You're not a corporation, you're a person, and as a person, you're not allowed to run red lights.
And he's trying to get you to respond to the legal fiction. And if he can't get you to respond to the legal fiction, he can't contract with you.
None of that's true. He's just trying to get your information because he's a cop and you've been pulled over for running a red light.
So in that case, what you want to do is let him commit the crime. We're going to operate on acceptance. Not that we're trying to trap him or anything. We're just trying to educate him, right? So the first thing you can ask a police officer is, excuse me, sir, are you attempting to traffic my person? And the person
Are you attempting to traffic me?
is the all caps corporation. Okay? And he's going to say no because he doesn't know better, and that's okay. But what he's ultimately doing is he's giving you a ticket, an affidavit of fiction, and that's got a 30-day notice. You've got a choice to show up at court, right?
So you do typically have a choice, and the choice is either you pay the ticket or you show up and argue it in court. I'm hoping she doesn't think choice means you can just ignore it.
You know that if you don't show up at court, you're presumed guilty, right? And you know that
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Thank you very much.
they're going to then sell that as a debt instrument. But what you don't know is that in every court
They're not selling it as anything as a debt instrument. What?
case, they're going to open up a trust in your name. Now, did you give them permission to do that?
There's no trust.
No, I did not.
And then what they're going to do is they're going to put 3 bonds in that trust. They're going to put a bid, a performance, and a payment bond in there. And then they're going to basically trade you on through your Sesta KV trust, which you didn't even know you had, and they're going to make anywhere from
You don't have one.
$2 to $5 million per traffic violation. And technically, in the background, they are then selling those as debt instruments. The courts are selling them as debt instruments.
You think that they make millions of dollars per traffic stop? It costs the state money to do court, and what do you what?
Instruments up to the Treasury.
That's
okay,
right.
so they're making good money on issuing traffic violations, and that's why they have a quota. So what you could do is you could turn around and grab an affidavit of truth. Because in an affidavit of truth, it's all common law. So you leave the court systems completely behind because they're all corrupt at this point. They're all just administrative maritime courts. And what you can do is you can operate. So imagine you're on a playing field down here, Ann, and this is maritime. We're going to take it to a playing field up here. And by the way, the playing field down here, we're like in the football field, and we're all the way back to the 1-yard line because no one ever taught us how to play offense. But I'm about to take you to a football field right above that. You're going to fly right over to the end zone because you're operating in truth, and no one can rebut truth. So you're going to give them words that no man can gainsay. And in your affidavit of truth, you're going to say in that affidavit, there is no evidence that you didn't just hold me at gunpoint and attempt to traffic my person. There's no
evidence you didn't hold me at gunpoint and attempt to traffic my person is quite a statement. You can't, there's no evidence you didn't try to traffic me. Is that how laws work?
Evidence that you're not working for a foreign corporation. There's no evidence that you are actually, in fact, a police or policy enforcer for the original republic. There is no evidence that you haven't signed an oath or have signed an oath to we the people, right?
Is this shilling scamming, or is she really this dumb? I think she really believes this stuff. I've seen her before. We don't cover her a lot because she typically does longer live streams, and she's into a lot of MAGA stuff too. So she covers that a lot now. I think she's also sort of into some of the QAnon stuff, but no, she's in this. She believes this.
So
I think she was a guest on Kat Espinda's show once.
What we are going to do with this affidavit of truth is we're reasonable. It's a negotiable instrument. So this officer can choose to either sign an oath to we the people, or he can choose to resign. He can do anything he wants. He can negotiate this instrument. But technically, he's taking a personal liability with every single ticket that he issues because he is working for a crime syndicate. And because he doesn't know that, that's okay. But in common law, every single man or woman is accountable for their deeds on this earth. So they have to be notified. So you put them on notice. So in your affidavit of truth, not only should it have documentaries to wake this officer up and let him know what's really going on, because again, he's probably a good guy, doesn't know what's going on. But in this affidavit of truth, you can let him know that there are all these things he has to rebut. In other words, he has to prove. You're giving him you're forcing burden of proof back on him that he has in fact signed an oath to we the people. And he hasn't, so he cannot prove otherwise. And when you put it in a negative advertement statement, you're basically saying there is no evidence to show that you did not just do this. Now, this is a very powerful statement. A negative advertement statement is very different than asking them for burden of proof. I'm not saying, hey, under burden of proof, prove to me you didn't just do this. Prove to me there wasn't bank fraud. Under burden of proof, prove to me that you didn't just willingly traffic my person.
I'm sorry, she thinks she can just sidestep burden of proof just like because? She thinks she can just be like, fuck burden of proof. I'm accusing you of this thing, and if you can't prove me wrong, you're going to jail.
They can't prove that. But if you say there is no evidence, you're asking him to come to a court of record with evidence. You're forcing him.
You come with evidence. What are you
to
talking
prove
about?
His innocence. So you're saying there's no evidence to prove you didn't just hold me at gunpoint. Okay? And which is extortion. It's forced law. Okay? So when you do this, again, in your affidavit of truth, you give him a timeline. He's got 30 days to seek a trial by peers or to cure, or he is now personally liable. And you can rack up these charges to about $1 million a pop. So if some of the people knew this right now and they were serving affidavits back to police officers, we're really just flipping the playbook. And at that point, this becomes a debt instrument.
Wow, that was nonsense even by the standards of sovereign citizens. That was pretty nutty. Okay. Oh, this guy seems legitimate. You know who I like to take law advice from? People who do videos about legal advice while smoking in their darkly lit basement. Probably not going to be monetized because of the smoking on camera, by the way, so if you haven't, consider subscribing. It helps so I can do content that's outside of the monetized friendly guidelines.
So, we had a class on the, I believe it was the 19th, Saturday, and there were some people that were awfully frustrated by a man who came in with a statement, could it be? And I would like to take the time to capitalize on how important
Just a peach with a $2 tip says, here is money. Thank you.
Our brother Joseph was sharing with us, because a lot of people, it went over their heads. And I've had some more time to reflect upon the questions that he was posing and the importance of asking questions versus making statements. The onus of probandi always falls upon the one who makes a statement. And by making a statement, you create controversy for which the ministerial administrator has the authority to administer, okay? And this isn't going to be a very long video because my battery's about to die. And again, I made a statement, so now I've got to prove that my battery's about to die. Well, here I'm at 15%, so here in about 5 minutes, it's just going to fall off the map, 10 minutes or so. And that'll be your empirical proof that my battery's dying, right? So I made a statement there that my battery's dying. And now I have an obligation. The onus of probandi falls back on me to prove it. And what he was making a very valid point about.
Okay, this guy's dry as hell.
You have to go to an appeals court. If you're.
I'm moving on from creepy basement man. Sorry. Oh, this is funny. This is a new one. I haven't heard this one before.
This. There's a bloke who noticed something strange about the letters coming through his door. He realised that there's a difference between mail and post.
Black's Law Dictionary. What do you want me to look up? Depraved ambiance. Pro-bandy? Okay.
Not something most people think about, right?
Let me pause this before we get into it so I can look at this. Almost there. Sorry. It's not in mine. So it's possible it's a thing, but I don't have it. So I'll just do something close by. Probation officer, one who supervises a person, commonly juveniles, placed on probation by a court in a criminal proceeding. He's required to report to the court the progress of the probationer and to surrender him if he violates the terms and conditions of his probation.
But once you notice, it is incredibly difficult to ignore. Mail is usually corporate, windowed envelopes. Personal details just sitting there, no stamp, just a franking mark. And on the back, a generic returns address, a PO box. Post, on the other hand, well, that's more personal. A real stamp, a clear postmark, a delivery address on the front, and usually a return address on the back. It's the kind of thing people use when sending something important. Legal documents, parcels, letters that matter. So here's where it gets interesting. This guy had been collecting mail.
Yeah, he's just saying that. This would be a UK thing, but I can't imagine that there's a legal distinction.
Never opened, never thrown it away. It just sat there piling up. One day somebody jokes and says, "What are you doing? Waiting to claim salvage?" And that planted a seed. Salvage? A few days later he's reading Going Postal by Terry Pratchett. And this line, well, it jumps out at him. Letters are alive, like ships are alive. Boom! Light bulb moment.
Okay, maybe don't take Pratchett too literally. Oh, God.
He starts thinking, maybe mail is like a commercial ship. It's got...
Okay, what if it's not? What if it's mail? What the fuck?
Got a visible cargo, something usually financial. And that PO box on the back? That's its home port. If it gets...
Okay, but it's not. It's a letter, and they're mailboxes. Trying to compare things metaphorically doesn't make them the same thing?
It's delivered to the wrong port. If it gets lost at sea, it should go back. That's what postal workers do, and they're not captains. They're the crew. They cannot claim salvage on lost cargo.
None of this follows. None of this follows from what you're saying. You're basically saying a guy was crazy and made a weird connection between things that have no actual connection.
Why do these mail ships keep washing up at this bloke's door? Windowed envelopes, showing just enough detail to signal something important, but never enough to trace. If the cargo inside were truly valuable, well then wouldn't it be sent with care and traceable? He figures that these items are probably already insured, written off before they ever left port, and every so often somebody opens it out of obligation or fear and sends money in return. And that's the system. Lost vessels that don't return get written off. Those that do
No, motherfucker, they're bills. Pay them.
come back, often scribbled on with legal buzzwords, get cleaned up and sent back out for another round. Another voyage, another maybe. So this guy, he just keeps collecting, watching the mail come in unopened, unclaimed, unsalvaged. Because maybe not all cargo is worth retrieving. Every letter tells the story, but some never get read. Let me know what you think. Look after yourselves. Enjoy.
This is absolute nonsense. Even by sovereign citizen standards, that meant nothing. What the fuck? Oh, look, it's this douchebag. Hey, surprise, he's also someone who thinks people shouldn't pay child support. Are you surprised? Based on our previous viewings of his stuff, does that shock you about his character? Alright, you're live. Say something. Say anything.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. We're now rocking to the sounds.
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says he could be confusing the difference between classes of mail, first class, second class, third class, and so on. It's all traceable if filled out correctly and not damaged in transit. I think it's less thought out than that.
And vibrations. Hey, your boy, Don Kalam. Also known as Malik Kalam, and as always, prosperity is your divine birthright. Peace and love. How's everybody feeling today? I'm going to bring some quick game to everybody. Man. So I'm not a licensed attorney or tax expert. I do this for educational and informational purposes only. It's your boy, Don Kalam. So this is just quick for Father's Day. Give y'all some quick game.
For Father's Day! His Father's Day video is how to get out of child support. Fuck me. Are you kidding? Happy Father's Day, you deadbeat piece of shit.
Hope y'all can understand what I'm about to drop to you. So there's different ways and different remedies to go about skinning this cat here, getting out of child support, okay? People have to understand and overstand and really have a comprehension of what status correction is, civil leader mortus, and that your name is a business, all right?
Your name is not a business. It's literally your name.
In trustee training, it's amalgamation. You've converted this fictitious juristic person with the natural person, which is you. The natural person doesn't need a birth certificate. The natural person doesn't need an ID or
No one in theory, like complete tabula rasa. No one needs an ID, but we live in a society in which these things are required to function normally, so you get them like a birth certificate when you're born, typically. It's not about like it being something you need to live in the physical sense, but in the social sense, it's incredibly important.
Social Security card. These are things to track you and tag you as their property. These are private contracts with adhesion contracts, making your body the surety ship as the trustee and beneficiary. So the first thing you're going to want to do is understand that a parent is a pair who rents.
No, that's not the etymology of the word parent in any way, shape, or form. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He should be embarrassed.
A parent is a pair who rents. Child or children's property of the corporation. So when you're
No, they're not. You're their guardian. The child isn't the property of anyone. Children are not property of anyone.
dealing with these entities, if they're ever talking to you in the flesh, you're going to want to say you're the father. You're going to want to say you're the mother. You're going to want to say that's your daughter. You're going to want to say that's your son. You want to stay away from the franchise words such as parent and children. These are franchise words, okay?
They're not.
Hope that everybody's following along. It starts with the language. These are franchise words, okay? Next, wherever the jurisdiction that's putting you on child support, you're going to want to make your name a business. I like to use LLCs, okay? First, middle, last name, LLC. You want to make...
What do you think that's gonna do? You can make as many LLCs as you want. It has nothing to do with your child support payments that you owe as an individual.
the name of business. Now, when you want to go into private and do private transactions or private things, you want to set it up a different way. But starting it off, just make yourself a manager, okay? Make yourself a manager or a single member. It's okay starting off just for this process. But at the end of the day, you want a private holding company to be the single member of your name, or a faith-based organization or unincorporated association. You want these to be the members or the managers of your name and your family legacies, okay? Next, you're going to want to make your children's name a DBA, doing business as, or fictitious name owned by your name that's an LLC. So
you can't set up an LLC to try and claim you own your child, you psycho. That's not how this works. You do not own your children. They are human beings. You are their guardian.
Your government name, John Doe LLC, doing business as your child's name, LLC. So Little John Doe, fictitious name. We're doing business as a child. The father can't do business as a child. That's an extension of the father. You gotta understand, only a person can be committed of a crime or be tried in these courtrooms. Per son means one son. In this system, it is ecclesiastical.
Sir, you're a person. It doesn't mean one son. It means you, the person, the colloquial meaning.
Which means spiritual, canon law. All, that's why they wear the robes. It's all spiritual. It's like church. You can only be saved through the Father, so only a person can be committed of a crime. Hope this makes sense.
Also, he says committed of a crime. I assume he means convicted of a crime or charged with a crime. It's multiple layers of wrong.
So make your name a business and make a fictitious name for your children's name owned by your name that's a business. So now your name's a business and now you own your children's name as well. It's all in, it's whatever in the public sector. It's that simple, all right? And then you push your paperwork. Whatever paperwork you have to enforce your claims. You can make your name put a lien against the child's name. That's a UCC1 to prove that intellectual property, first in line, first in time. Nobody can put a claim on that name. You can trademark the names. You can trademark the signatures. You can trademark the thumbprints. You need to make sure.
You can't trademark. It wouldn't matter. What?
So you prove that anything that's dealing with the family and the public belongs to the family, all right? It's just
these people are deranged.
Trusteeship. That's all it is. It's trusteeship, suretyship. And the public trusteeship is suretyship. As a trustee, you will be held liable as surety in the public and its public system. Now, I hope that's the game. I gave it to you quick as possible. If you want to learn more, text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Or go to school.com/Don Colum. That's SKOOL.com/SKOOL. DONKI.
Literacy is for nerds.
ILAM. There I give away the templates and everything. Let me know that made sense. Drop a 100 fire emoji. And
fire emoji.
No, I'm not answering questions. Book a consult. I'm not here to answer your fucking questions. See, this is private knowledge for informed families. If your family didn't teach you this, then what am I supposed to do? I'm not your daddy.
Why are you making the video? What?
People are
I made a whole website to inform you. Also, fuck you for thinking I should inform you.
already asking questions. It's crazy. Ask Google, motherfucker. I mean, we got some 100s, we got some fire emojis. I'm just making sure I did my job. Is don't use the word parents and don't use the word children when dealing with them in the flesh. Parent and children are franchise words. It's all about the language. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all's day. Much peace.
What a dumb asshole. Wow. $50 a month to enter his private business circle. Enroll today and claim these perks, including status correction templates to dispute debt, templates for non-violent court cases, including child support, a 30-day hack to remove collections and charge-offs, step-by-step guide on building business credit, access to hundreds of private life ebooks, exclusive perks await you, attending in-person live events with Don Kalam and company, learn business structuring for $100,000 in funding. Wow. I hate that scams are just courses now.
So in 2007, James Colin Edwards out of San Bernardino, California, and myself filed copyrights in quantum grammar on the U.S. Civil Peace flag, otherwise known as the merchant flag, the commerce flag. And so a lot of groups have been out here, they've been trying to use my flag and they can't figure out why they can't get anywhere. That's because I actually filed copyrights on that in 2007, long before any of these
Man, this is horrifying AI. What the fuck is wrong with their faces?
fake groups kicked off and acted like they were going to take my flag. They're like, oh, we're going to use the Civil Peace flag since he's got the Title IV flag. And like, yeah, but I didn't tell you guys that I copyrighted that in 2007. So yeah, it's kind of funny watching all these different groups out here use my flag, and I didn't give them authorization to use it. So it's yeah. I guess I wasn't asking their permission when they started learning in 2013, 2014, and those things were already completed way before they all got involved. So it's quite comical, and I watch them people get spun out and go nowhere, and so I don't mind since they run me down. I don't have to get out and publish everything, right? I keep some of the.
Yeah, I heard about the Disney AI suit. I hope they win.
My fortunes are my secrets, and so I don't tell the general public a lot. So just think about that for a second.
H-Bird says you said the thing, I have to.
You could talk, oh my God, what's wrong with your face?
Okay. My fortunes are my secrets. And so how much do you think I've really told the
worst
world?
Sovereign citizen since my son.
What it comes back to is authorizations. They should have been doing their homework back in 1990.
Oh God, what the fuck is, what? Ah! It's so bad.
But people were lazy back in 1995. We were busy figuring out how the courts work, how the ports work, and then figuring out
Nice Carp Cozian, hope you had fun.
how to set up different ports. In 2010, I designed a whole system to fund the whole world off of taxation, off of import and export of goods, and I rewrote all the ways and quays and port mechanics globally. I've published that worldwide. So when you see these fake leaders coming out and saying, oh, we're going to shut off your taxes, and now the corporations are just going to pay taxes, and that's going to fund everything. Yeah, thanks for stealing my ideas, people. But yeah, not giving me any credit, but it'll backfire because I got.
Do you know that Russell-J. Gould invented a progressive tax system?
Caveats and things put into those matrices to self-destruct them so they blow themselves up. So it's kind of pretty cool for me. Smart of me to do that. I kind of wrote my own insurance policies on that. I realized after the crypto-currencies that everybody was going to be stealing my concepts.
The crypto-currency.
And so I've built in safeguard mechanisms that cause their own demise if they try to use it without the grammar. So it's pretty cool. So everybody was carrying a C treaty on them. So everybody has their all-seeing eye on their money, right? Their C, their holy C treaty. So they're having to bow down to the Pope and ask him for his penance to enter his diocese. And so I filed a lighthouse treaty back in 2000. And the lighthouse were the characters and symbols of communication, dealing with the symbols of alphabets, the symbols of numerics, the symbols and the closures of the principles of mathematical functions, as well as different
Terrence Howard could help us with the principles of mathematics.
algebraic trigonometric functions to articulate measurement of matter and to create syntax. And I was the only person to do that ever in the history of mankind. And I learned about that when I was studying the Montana Freeman case, when Judge Burns stood up and says, well, you people can't see what you're doing. And all the Montana Freemen were like, you're crazy, Your Honor. He's like, no, you people can't see what you're doing. Well, when you look up the definition of C, S-E-E, in a legal content, it took you into the function of the Vatican and the jurisdictions of the diocese. So that's what took me into my...
Sorry, why is there a random picture of an elven wizard? Did he put the wrong picture here, or is he an elf?
My studies on that, the alchemy of what brought the spelling together, this casting of the spells, which was the communication that they've used to formulate and put on paperwork. So it's unfortunate that they had to put words on paperwork because people's words became dishonest. They were going against their own terms, so somebody would say something, and then they...
Oh, Janerdi mentioned Mortal Kombat, so I should point out I finally have played Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not a fan. Oh my god. I see why people complained. The combat is so slow, and all of the cameos just suck. I hate the cameo fighters. What are they doing?
You know, put a handshake on it, and then their performance didn't match what they had said, and so they got into the script of contracts and setting terms on contract. Grammar could only be in a now-space position, and I was the first person to identify now-space position on contract. In one of my battles that the government came in and had a book burning, and I lost a bunch of books that were very valuable to me, but I was able to document, extract what I needed out of those books and put them on.
Oh, that's a weird place to stop, but I guess there it is.
Okay, welcome to my course. This is a free course, and it's everything you need to know about citizenship, taxation, your status as an American, what it means, etc.
On the bright side, I did see the new Final Destination, and that was great. So that's good.
etc. This is the intro video. I don't want to make this super boring or long, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. There's some things you need to know about this course in order to go through this course. So let's just start off and get right into it. If you want to know more about me, too bad. I'm one stupid fuck, and my name is Brandon.
This is the guy from the Sovereign Citizen Convention we watched that kept talking about dicks.
Joe Williams. So that's pretty much all you need to know about me. And then you can go to www.onestupidfuck.com. Basically, all the videos in this course are based off of my state national theory page, which is all text-based. It's about the size of a book. And a lot of this course, or pretty much all of this course, is going to be built based off of that information. I also have a...
What does that flag mean? Some sovereign citizens believe that that is the peacetime flag of the United States of America, and that it's been hidden from us this whole time, that this is the real flag of the United States. It's not. I don't know who originally made it up, but it's very ugly.
A state national resources section on my website as well, with links, documents, definitions, quotes, case law, etc. So you're more than welcome to go on there. Check that out as well. But let's just go through some of the basic points that you need to know in order to even go through this course without going insane, okay? So first and foremost, this course is going to piss you off probably more than you've ever been pissed off in your entire life. And I mean literally to the point where you're going to probably have horrible things going through your mind as you're going through this course, because you're going to be so emotionally upset and angry. And
that's a red flag.
Right away, right out the gate, I want to be super ultra clear. Please don't do anything rash. Don't, revenge and the idea of revenge and that kind of thing. It's so not helpful. It's so ineffective. It's just terrible. revenge. Now they want revenge for your revenge. It's like, you know, human relations is a situation where we have a tendency to just go back and forth until like everything under the sun, moon, and stars has been wiped away.
That is an
and that's
ugly
not
flag.
really my point of this whole course. Okay.
Glad they didn't go with that.
I am the founder of what's called the Amnesty Coalition. Okay. The word coalition means a temporary group made up of people who may not be very similar, who may be very, very different, who are coming together temporarily to fight a common cause or a common enemy. Amnesty, the word amnesty means that you're basically forgiving people. It's sort of more of a legal or military term used to describe just, dude, if you did this.
The website is real and it's unhinged. Oh, God. Oh, no. Welcome to my burning dumpster fire of a website. I hope you hate it as much as I do. Oh, no, his whole personality is this. Oh, no. Click here if it's your first time here and you don't know where to start. A horny, worthless, racist bastard looking for his next victim. Oh. Well, he just said it then, didn't he? I don't really know what, the fuck to say about that. God.
If you did that, whatever. Like, let's all just put our fucking guns down and move on with our lives. That is where I'm at with all of this, and I really don't want this course to create some kind of militia type situation or some kind of horrific blowback, vengeful type situation. I don't condone that. I don't support it. I don't want to see it. I will frown on any of that, and I am the founder of the Amnesty Coalition, and that is what I'm going to be doing with all of this information. Education is the key. Educate your friends. Educate
Phyllis Filler says, I'm sad I can't fix people. Me too. So my solution to that sadness is making jokes about it on the internet, and that seems to help temporarily. Consider it.
family. You know, there is going to be fear. There is going to be anger. You know, mitigate it. We're going to be going into trust law a lot, and trust law is the basis of basically everything. And the basis of that basis is the fact that when you tear someone else down, they're going to turn around and tear somebody else down. You know, there is a ripple effect. There is a lot of this kind of thing. So just don't get into that. And it's going to be hard because this course is going to, I'll bet you'll never ever have been so angry in your entire life. And you may never be as angry ever again as you are going to be during this course. And there's nothing I can do to mitigate that. All I can do is just say, look.
I'm so curious what this course is, because I've seen tons of sovereign citizen shit. Like, what could this possibly
have
be?
Your anger, just, you know, use it in effective ways. Use it in try to transmute it, so to speak, coming from a Napoleon Hill kind of quote. If you can transmute and transform that anger and that frustration into something else, it's good, because if you don't, the snowball effect of doing that could very well be devastating to the whole human race. There's going to be a lot of people mad. So
delusions of grandeur.
That is my opinion on that. Okay. Number two, I don't give a shit if you're confused. This whole thing is confusing. It's meant to be confusing. You are going to be confused. You may have to go through this shit.
It's meant to be confusing is quite a cope.
150 times. This course is going to be free. I have no obligation to you. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to repay a debt or something bad that I did or something like that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I may answer your questions. I may not. That's up front. And if you don't get the course, if you don't understand it, watch the course again. Go read some books. Go on my resources section. Go on my theory.
Oh, no. Yeah, I saw those books next to him, and I wondered what that was. Love is a Battery, Unlocking the Secrets to the Best Relationships and Sex of Your Life by Brandon Joe Williams. So he has a book about dating and sex. Here's what it says. After 15 years of misery, I decided to make a change. I went out in the world in search of answers. After reading every book I could possibly get my hands on, going to male empowerment seminars, approaching and accosting... He wrote that. Approaching and accosting thousands of women, spending $10,000 on self-improvement courses and communication courses, I found the ultimate correlation between science and attraction. That correlation is involving the energy exchange of direct current, a battery, and alternating current. In my book, I break down each and everything that I've realized over the past 15 years of self-discovery. The ultimate goal of my book is to help you become infinitely happy with yourself, thus allowing you to naturally attract the perfect romantic partner into your life. If you're looking for a way to pick up girls at the bar, or if you're looking to meet your soulmate, this book will help. But be warned, if you're just looking for a surface-level experience, then you will likely think very differently after reading it. After being a therapist for many years... One second, I need to process that. Hold on. What? He was a therapist? What the fuck, man? After being a therapist for many years, I realized that dating, sex, and a relationship is the area that people have the most stuck attention. They're looking for help, and there was not very much clear and helpful information. Most information out there is all about systems and button pushing, not about real beautiful connection. I hope to change that. I hope you use my book to achieve everything you've ever wanted in your life and a better connection to become you. And then it says, fuck this book. I don't know what to do with that. What do I do with that?
Theory section, go.
H-Baird says, accosting means approaching someone for the purpose of talking to them. Most people's exposure to that word is from police reports about mugging, so a lot of people wrongly think it's a synonym of assault. Okay, there you go.
On other people's websites, do whatever you have to do to handle your own confusions. Your confusions are not my problem. Don't make them my problem. You don't.
I mean, if you're a teacher and you're trying to teach people something, it is actually your problem.
Pay me. Now, with that said, if you do want to pay me some astronomically high sum of money in order for me to handle your confusions, I'd be more than happy to entertain any offer like that. And when I say astronomical, I mean tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars. So if you would like to...
Okay, I'll go tens of thousands. You already told me what your floor is, so why would I go higher than that?
Do that? Please, by all means, send me an email, send me a message on my website, onestupidfuck.com, O-N-E spelled out, not the number. Please give me an offer on how I can best handle your confusions, and I will personally coach you through all this for some absolutely asinine amount of money. So I'm more than willing to do that. Please send me your offer. Okay, number 3. Again, I am for hire. I'm giving away all this shit for free, so I don't care. I'm not going to hold your dick. But if you do want to offer some kind of very, very wild sum of money for me to help you personally, I'd be more than happy to do that. So if you do need that assistance, you're more than welcome to send me a message. You're more than welcome to comment on any of my stuff or send me a message on social media. I may or may not respond, but massive sums of money, yeah, sure, okay, I'll entertain it. So be more than welcome to do that. All right, number 4, everything on this course is legal. It's going to emotionally feel extremely illegal, and it's going to be very...
This is the most weirdly honest script you've seen. It is weird, isn't it?
Very upsetting, and you're going to be like, oh my god, all of this seems illegal. This is completely insane. What is this? I shouldn't even be viewing this, blah, blah, blah. So that is basically, so there's 2 words. There's the word legal, and then there's the word lawful, okay? So the word legal means in accordance with statute. Statute is basically laws that...
No, it's laws. No air quotes. Statutes and laws are synonyms.
Apply only to a specific group of people. You can...
No, they do not. They apply to everyone.
Also say the word policy, but it's generally known as statute, okay? So if you work at a bank, let's say Bank of America, there's a statute on how someone at Bank of America would act or dress or act in public, etc. And you being a part of that group,
that's not a statute. Those are company policies. A statute is synonymous with the law.
You are bound to those statutes, okay? Whereas law, like common law, okay, that's more the common laws handed down by God, or, you know, that all...
That's not even what common law means. Common law goes back in the days before we had a legislative like branch, where like a lot of stuff would be like edicts by like the sovereign, the king or something. And when there were conflicts that would come up, there would be judges, and those judges would make rulings, and those rulings would become the standard for how those matters are dealt with within the purview of that area, of whatever the jurisdiction was. That's common law. It's the way that things were dealt with were common after it had been dealt with by a judge. It was the same for all the other judges in the area.
Humankind, all mankind, all have to follow
early English jurisprudence, correct?
Or should follow, etc. So you have legal, which is statute, which is involving specific groups of people or specific sections, and then you have lawful, okay? Now, everything I'm going to be going over in this course is going to be described in these two different ways. We have lawful and we have legal, and I'm going to break them all down. Now, everything in this course is completely legal and completely lawful, okay? And I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Now, if you don't understand something in this course, don't do it. If you don't get how it could be legal or lawful, don't take actions. Any actions you take are completely on you. I was studying this stuff for maybe 7 months before I took even one single...
It's so legal and lawful, he has to warn you not to do it unless you accept all of the consequences.
Solitary action. So if it takes you a year, if it takes you a month... I know some guys who were filing affidavits day one, which is cool. That's not me. That was cool. So... very
not cool, stupid.
Very, 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 very important. This is going to feel so wrong, so illegal, so fucked up, and you have to allow yourself emotionally to get through that. I'm not saying you have to jump into action. I'm just saying you have to continue to look, continue to clear up words and definitions and dictionaries, continue to immerse yourself in this before you're going to realize exactly how it works. Now, how can something be legal and lawful? So I'm going to, almost everything in this course that I'm going to be teaching you is basically you are contracted into groups that have particular statutes that you aren't even aware of, okay? Now, when you learn, it's like your vision's all just muddy, okay? And what's going to happen is that you're going to learn, and I'm going to open up everything for you. And you're going to learn that, oh my God, I'm contracted over here. Oh my God, I'm contracted over here. And you're going to see what it is you're contracted to, okay?
None of it's about contracts. The law is not a contract. Contracts are something you voluntarily enter into, and there needs to be consideration of both sides. The law is not that. The law is not a contract. It is not civil.
Now, the way that you keep everything legal and lawful is as soon as
criminal law isn't civil. Civil law is civil.
As you find out where you're contracted to, you don't go crazy and start taking any action until you've severed the contract and pulled yourself out of that connection. So once you pull yourself out of a particular connection, let me give you an example, a driver's license, okay? So with a driver's license, you're contracted into all sorts of shit that you had no clue, okay? So, but there's a way to change your driver's license in a way that pulls you out of all of those contracts. There's a whole bunch of them, and you have no clue what they are. And they fuck up your life like you wouldn't believe. So what I'm going to be teaching you is
you know, having a driver's license has never fucked up my life, believe it or not. Just lets me, you know, drive vehicles
that
and identify myself given, you know, the need for it in certain circumstances.
If you just calmly and quietly find the contract extract yourself from the contract all the way to completion, not halfway, but you're like, okay, there I am. I'm going to extract myself from that. Done. Once you hit that point and you've extracted yourself from that particular contract, now you're no longer in the legal zone of being underneath this statute. You're now outside of that statute. So I'm actually going to draw this. This is so important as part of this. So let's say, for example, let's say, okay, a marriage, okay, marriage, which I hate spelling. I almost always spell it wrong. So if I do, then whatever, fuck you. So you have a marriage, okay? Now, in a marriage, which I'm going to get into a lot later in the course, so you have a marriage license, okay? Now, there's an aspect of the marriage license that actually marries you to the state. Okay, so you have husband. For this purposes, I'm just going to use husband and wife because I don't give a fuck. Wife.
No one said anything, man. It's fine.
Okay. And state.
You just had to get that little jab in there. Very weird.
And the state is right here in the middle. Now, there's a way that you can actually eliminate the state entirely. Now, because you're
have a religious wedding, just have a religious marriage, and don't get don't file a marriage license. No one's making you get legally married. Like, what are you talking about? If you just want to do a religious thing or a personal thing, have a ceremony, that's fine. It just won't be a legal marriage.
Married into the state, there are statutes that you don't realize that you're connected into, okay? So once you remove
But my tax benefits, I promise you this man is not paying taxes.
the state from
He literally has videos where he claims to tell people how to avoid it illegally.
marriage license, you also remove all the statutes. Now you're legal and lawful. So legal and lawful are very strange, unique terms, because in order to be legal and lawful, you basically either legal if you're inside this system, okay, and you have the state married into your marriage. The only way to be legal is to follow.
I think the most difficult part of marriage is getting a bed big enough that the state can fit in it too.
All of the statutes. And sometimes these statutes, as you guys probably know, it's like books and books and books and books. It's all bullshit. They just make it up. So to be legal when you're in the system, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? And they change it on you and you don't know. And it's like, oh my God, and all this stuff. So what I'm going to be teaching you in the course is basically how to, you just extract yourself from that system entirely. And those statutes, they no longer apply to you at all. So what happens at that point, you're now legal and you're lawful. And that's the basis of this entire course, okay? And when you find out the different contracts that you're connected to that you weren't aware of, that's the part you're going to get very, very fucking pissed off. So, again...
I mean, it might piss people off if you tell them a bunch of misinformation that isn't true, that's designed to piss them off, yeah.
I recommend calm, quiet extraction. Once you've found every single fucking contract in your entire existence and you extract yourself from every single one, I would say probably at that point would be a smart place to start doing actions, to start to do other things, and maybe start to reach out more and that kind of thing. But you really want to get your own house in order before you start doing something like that. Like, for example, me, here I am making a free course when all I've been doing for months now is just correcting all of my own contracts. And pretty much all of my contracts, I'm working on a couple last ones right now that are really advanced. But all my
videos from 10 months ago, by the way.
My contracts are done. They're all gone. So I am completely outside of the system. I am completely outside of all the statutes you can possibly even imagine.
He was not, in fact, outside of statutes, because that's not how the rule of law works. He's not rich enough to have the law not apply to him.
I know my rights. I know case law. I know all this stuff. I can talk the talk. I can walk the walk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to teach all of this to you as much as I can and as simple as I can. Just keep in mind, again, and I'm going to repeat these things over and over again because they are so important. Number one, don't get pissed off and freak out. You're going to want to. Don't do it. Two, it's not illegal. It's not unlawful. And I'll try as hard as I can to break down each point and why that is as we go, so that you can see that as we go. But I don't ever recommend anything illegal or unlawful, because you make yourself a target at that point, and it's just totally unnecessary. Doing something illegal and unlawful is so unnecessary, and I'm going to show you why. There's literally no reason why you do it. It's actually stupid.
Yeah, Harold Evelman, a few states have already enacted laws banning chemtrails. Really, the fact that we've gotten to this level is really just depressing to me. Like, in the extreme. Conspiracy theories are actively shaping legislation, and you know, I'm just not a fan of that. Believe it or not, I am a fan of evidence-based policy, not fear-based bullshit. But whatever.
You just sever the contract. You find the contract, you sever it. There's nothing illegal about that, nothing unlawful about that. It's totally normal. There's actually complete sets of laws. I'm going to show you guys breakdowns of government agencies, and they tell you straight up how to break the contract. They're like, if you want to break the contract, this is what you do. And I'm going to show it to you and show the whole thing to you step by step. And some of it might be complicated, but it's worth it. So that's another point. Okay. Point number 5. The primary barrier to doing anything in this course is either a lack of self-esteem or a lack of love for humanity. So basically, if you really don't like...
No, we can't ban Mothman. He's adorable. Also, hi, Ash. How's it going?
...yourself, and you can't stand up, and you can't be honest with yourself and others, and you don't have some kind of love and compassion for the human race, this whole course and all the information in it's probably not going to be really all that helpful or useful for you, sadly. So you may require some self-discovery first before you get into this. If you go through this course and you find yourself just losing your mind, I recommend that you backpedal. Maybe don't do this course.
I'm sorry about your lip, Ash. That sucks.
Or maybe just save the videos for later. And
for those that didn't see it, this is in YouTube chat. Ash says, I lost a fake sword fight to my 7-year-old cousin and ended up needing 7 stitches in the inside of my lip. It wasn't his fault. I taught him the move he used.
And focus on yourself. Read some books. Do some self healing, go into the forest, whatever it is you want to do, get some therapy, whatever it is you want to do to really do some soul searching, find out who you are. In my own opinion, the most powerful way that you can just blast yourself emotionally into the stratosphere is to have some kind of like really important, valuable goal in your life, like some kind of deep purpose. Like, what is it that you want to do with your life? Do you want to help certain types of people? Do you want to create some kind of thing? Do you want to do something with the world? What is it that you want to do in your life, and give yourself some big, huge fucking monster purpose? That's going to blast you into levels of living that you never even knew imagined, and it will give you the emotional bank account, to quote Dan Espena, the emotional bank account to be able to consume this information. If you do not have the emotional bank account to consume this information, it's
the emotion. Normally, I hear it like emotional bandwidth. Emotional bank account's weird.
Okay, I fucking totally understand. Someone showed me this information like 2 years before I was willing to look at it, and it scared the absolute fucking shit out of me. So you know what? I get it. Like, if you say I'm just scared to death, I'm shitting myself, dude, trust me, I totally fucking understand. So if that's the case, do some soul searching, save the videos, come back to them later. I would expect very few people. I would be truly impressed if I met someone who was like, oh yeah, and they jumped into this right away, and it was like totally their thing, and they loved it, and they were like, oh, I'm going to do everything that, Brandon's talking about here. That is a very, 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 very high level individual, very rare, very unique, very powerful. Hats off to you, man. Like, check it out. Hats.
I got to point out the cute Mothman plush that Just a Peach shared in the Discord. Adorable. Very, very cute. There's actually a horror bookstore near me that has a ton of cute, like, cryptid and other horror-themed plushies. Adorable.
Off to you, because that is amazing, incredible, and rare. And like I said, it took me 2 years. I was in complete terror of this information. Then it was about 3 or 4 months of poking. And then it was about 3 or 4 months of like hardcore 2 to 7 hours a day studying and digging. And then
I think there's a pretty big difference between 2 and 7 hours.
And now
I'm going to assume the average on that's like 3.
Here where I sit right now, it was about 3 or 4 months of like hardcore action and like doing shit. So, 2.25, 2.5 years in before I even did a fucking thing. So that's really important to know. Don't beat yourself up. If you just literally want to just cry when you're watching these videos and you're going through this course, I totally get it. Okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to hold your dick unless you want to pay me tons of money, but
he offered. Just putting it out there.
I do understand. So
make him an offer.
I do want to say that. Okay. Oh, next point. Getting close to the end of this video. Hope I'm boring the fuck out of you. This next part here, okay, so we hear a lot about the Great Awakening. We hear a lot about, all this stuff, and there's all these things on the internet, and there's conspiracy theory and all this kind of stuff. So check this out. I'm actually going to do something here because I'm fucking real tired of the bullshit on this one. So if we go to thefreedictionary.com, okay, and we type in conspiracy.
God.
So the word conspiracy actually means an agreement to perform together an illegal, wrongful, or subversive act. Okay? So conspiracy, the definition actually means, a bunch of people or some people, somebody, obviously, coming together to perform some sort of horrible or subversive act. Okay?
And a conspiracy theory is people generally who believe an unproven conspiracy exists. They believe that a group of people, a cabal, a deep state, whatever, a group of people are coming together surreptitiously to do some illegal or immoral thing in secret. That's a pretty decent definition.
And then the word theory.
Oh, no. See, honey, no. When you combine words together, they often have meanings that are slightly different contextually than both words separately just combined. There are connotations behind conspiracy theory that exist beyond conspiracy or theory separately.
Comes from a set of statements or principles devised to explain a group of facts or phenomena, especially one that has been repeatedly tested, or is widely accepted. Let's see here. A set of theorems. An assumption. Here we go. This is good. I like this one. An assumption based on limited information or knowledge. Okay, perfect. So conspiracy. Let's go back to that one because this is so fucking important because I don't want to hear anybody's fucking bullshit. So we have an agreement to perform together an illegal, wrongful, or subversive act. And then we have theory, which is the one I think applies the best here, is number 6, an assumption based on limited information or knowledge. Okay, and then what I always do whenever I'm clearing up words is I also look at the derivation of the word. So we're going to go to ETYM.
Why the fuck do they think that the etymology of the word gives some sort of secret meaning? That's not how this works.
Online.com. This is my favorite. I also use another one called Etymology Explorer, which is an app, which I recommend as well. So we're going to type in here conspiracy. So the word comes from mid-14th century, a plotting of evil, unlawful design. Now remember, unlawful. So, like I said before, going against the law of God, which is, human law. It's not statute. So, unlawful design, a combination of persons for an evil purpose. Okay, that's good. I like that. That's and then you have conspiracy theory. So a conspiracy theory is basically
there was a definition right there. Why are you going to make one up? They had one listed.
some kind of theory. So it's some kind of like thing that's created using limited knowledge to make up some kind of thing where it's like you know, a bunch of people are plotting to do something horrible to us. Okay.
Colloquially, conspiracy theory usually is about something that is unproven or even considered to be silly that someone believes it. I'm just telling you that that's how it's colloquially used. When people actually believe that something has happened and they have evidence of it, they don't normally call it a conspiracy theory. They just call it a conspiracy.
Okay. So I stay away from conspiracy theories as much as possible. I don't like them. I don't want them. I don't have any interest in them. I'm sure a bunch of people who are conspiracy theory type people are going to come onto these videos and they're going to get involved with this whole thing, and that's fine. I don't really care. I don't feel bad about people who like conspiracy theory. I don't hate them. I just want to be
I do.
clear from the beginning that this word is like a fucking political hit piece term. And it's like, oh, slap him with the label. And then as soon as you slap him with that label, he no longer has any validity in the world. It's like cancel culture bullshit. You know what it is?
Calling my conspiracy bullshit is cancel culture.
It's basically someone standing up and saying, I am a fucking worthless piece of shit. I can't view anything for myself. I can't listen to anything for myself. And honestly, I should go like impale myself on a fucking graveyard fence. That's what I hear when I hear that word. It's like anything that's uncomfortable for someone to listen to, they just kind of slap that label on and it's supposed to like give them relief. It's fucking pathetic.
Not really. Usually the term applies to like really crackpot stuff that doesn't have a basis in reality and is usually based on people's paranoia or misunderstanding of the facts. Like that's it. It's usually people just have an undue sense of mistrust and they formulate ideas around it, and that's it. It's not nefarious.
Oh, it's so fucking pathetic. So I want to be clear about that. If there is something that's sort of like a theory or whatnot, I'll try my best to kind of label it as such, but really we're going to stay away from conspiracy theories as much as possible. I'm going to tell you hardcore
This is all going to be just nonsense.
Going on and then exactly what you can do about it to change it, okay? So that is my plan. The Great Awakening is not going to come from a savior. It's not going to come from Trump. It's not going to come from anybody, okay? I don't dislike Trump. I'm not like the biggest fan in the world. I just, when you go through this course, you're going to realize pretty much all of politics is bullshit. My plan is to get you out of these systems entirely and free you 100% to the point where you no longer have any connection or interest in any of this stuff. It's all just noise, and you'll see why and what you can do about it, okay? So, the great...
I will say to some extent that on a large... from what I've seen, a lot of the vote politics are bullshit people are the exact kind of people I'm glad aren't voting, so maybe that's good. Fenekagami says, etymology is useful to anthropology to trace the evolution of a culture through its language, but without the study of that culture's history, it's useless outside of foreshadowing or lorecraft in fiction, though how you're choosing names for, through how you're choosing names for things. So unless you're pursuing a PhD or studying Dark Souls, etymology is useless.
Great Awakening.
It's fun to say, though.
Is an increase.
And he can use it to make jokes about entomology.
Of collective awareness.
By pretend confusing them.
Of humanity, okay? So the Great Awakening that has occurred a lot during COVID and stuff like that is that people are waking up to the fact that something weird is going on in the world and
people were scared and in a different situation than they normally were, so that paranoia, which happens when people are uncomfortable, causes them to spin out into all sorts of weird, unfounded explanations to try and deal with that feeling of discomfort.
Things aren't what they thought they were, and the world isn't...
That's why you also saw a rise in conspiracy after things like 9/11. If we end up having some sort of incident with Iran, I guarantee that we're gonna get conspiracies about that too, because people don't like when reality is uncomfortable and makes them scared, so they come up with narratives and stories, or adopt narratives and stories that other people provide them, that soothe it by giving them a story that explains it in a way that makes them more comfortable. Now, that story might not always be positive, but just knowing or believing that you know a narrative that explains something, even when the narrative involves, like, evil people controlling the world, it's still better than feeling like we just live in chaos, which is closer to the truth.
This like calm, solid place that they thought it was, and they're becoming more curious about things, etc. And that's kind of where this course dovetails into that beautifully. So, the Great Awakening is collective awareness increasing. Okay, so by me releasing this course, I'm contributing to the Great Awakening. By you getting fucking pissed as fuck watching these videos, being so angry that you can't even like think, and there's like heat boiling through your veins, which is probably going to happen, which I understand. It's not contributing to the Great Awakening. Contributing to the Great Awakening is amnesty, forgiveness, and the education of your friends, family, and peers. So you can share these videos, you can explain things to people in your own way. Look, I'm going to explain this shit to you in a way that I understand it. I'm not the best person at all this shit. I just think that I have a really good skill set for being able to explain really fucking complicated things in a really simple way that you can understand it through like a sequential type breakdown. I'm very, very good at that. You'll see that during these videos. I'm very fucking good at it. So there are people that are way better than I am at all of this, have way more information than me at this, but I think I'm probably one of the most interesting and most clear ones to actually have explained some of this stuff. So there's a lot.
He's also humble too.
A lot of people out there that are teaching this kind of stuff. You have people like David Straight. You have people like Anna von Reitz. You have people like David Robinson. David Robinson has a bunch of books. Some of these books weren't even written by him, which is kind of weird. I've already found 3 books by him that were not actually written by him that has his name on it. So just a word of warning. Love the guy. I just don't understand why he's not putting some of the information at the beginning of the books describing and giving homage to the person who originally wrote the book. So keep in mind that is the situation. So, but he has done a huge gift for humanity by taking all of these books that were written by other people, but you can't get them anymore. Like, it's fucking impossible. Like, for example, Cracking the Code, which he sells as a book. It's either Commercial Redemption or Hardcore Redemption in Law. Those 2 books were actually written by somebody else, but you like literally can't find the books anywhere. So it's cool. Like, thank you very much. But at the same time, it's like, dude, hey, you know, the person who wrote the book, there should be at least a little cover page in there or something like explaining that. Same thing with Miracle on Main Street, which was written by F. Tupper Saucy. Can't get the book anymore. You can get used copies, but David E. Robinson has re-released the book with whatever. I don't remember there being any mention of F. Tupper Saucy in the entire thing. So kind of not cool, but also thank you at the same time. So
not cool, plagiarist. Anyway, thank you.
Clear about that. All these people, all these different people that you're going to find that's teaching this shit, Christopher Hauser, these guys are fucking all awesome. And like sometimes they like fight each other or whatever, or there's like this whole battle of like who's better and who's not. And it's like, fuck all that.
I already have these in the folder you sent. Yeah, I figured.
Just ignore all that shit. Like, all these people are so dope and so amazing, and you're going to learn so much. And one of them will help you more than other ones, and you're going to connect more with another one, and then maybe you won't in a few years. Like, it's just like whatever. Like, just take it all in, take my shit, and you know, turn around and explain it in your own way, and then you're going to become an educational source for other people. And that's how the Great Awakening is going to happen. The Great Awakening is going to happen from people who are getting educated, and then they're turning around and now educating others in their own way. When you educate other people in your own way, you're going to connect with people who enjoy your style of educating them and communicating to them. Okay. So the more different people we have teaching this stuff in all these different styles, the more people we're going to connect with. And if you would like to do that, I would strongly approve and strongly love for more and more people to take this material and to turn around and explain it in their own way to their own people and create a base of people that they're going to be educating and working with, etc. That is so fucking cool.
This video has 64,000 views, by the way.
So
you know why delusional people succeed? Because they're persistent. Persistence is a big part of success, and unfortunately, delusional people are incredibly persistent.
That is the great...
Oh yeah, this is video number 1. This is a whole course. This has 44 videos in this playlist. So yeah, this is episode 1 of 44 so far in the last 10 months.
Great Awakening, that is my vision for the Great Awakening. It has nothing to do with Washington, D.C. It has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with the education of people and educating people in a way that's fun and engaging and like, wow, this is so cool, so fun, so informative, etc. Okay? So with that said, I'm really happy that you're here. I think you're going to love this course. And it's going to be probably...
Wonder how many times he mentioned sucking dick this series. We can keep a tally. I do kind of want to do more. I started with this one because I wanted to start with the first one. But I do want to cover some of these moving forward. Like his next episode is all about the all caps name shit.
Per day for a series of days. It's normally how I do it. And get ready to have your fucking mind blown. All right. I'll see you at video 2.
He said the fuck word. He's relatable. Don't you like him now? Because he said fuck. He must be just like you. He said fuck. Alright, I think we're done for the day. I gotta go get some food before D&D, so yeah, I think we're done for the day. We are gonna stream tomorrow, I think. I'm gonna try to. I am going to see a family member that's in town tomorrow, so that'll take a lot of the day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to stream. Let me put it that way. Unless anything dire happens, or if anything goes on way longer than I expect, then we should be streaming tomorrow. So let's see who we're gonna raid. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you soon. Doon, doon, doon. Oh, if you haven't already, make sure you follow. Or subscribe on YouTube. I stream all the time. Newbie Faye with 100 bits says, thanks, Hannah. Roll high. I'll do my best. Alright, see y'all later. Bye.